Hello, gamers. Oh, shush. Welcome back to another amazing live stream by yours truly. How are we? How are we? Today, we are going to be playing some more Our Life. Last time we played this, we had a little wild dinner at Cove's house, followed by a really great whatchamacallit, van. We had like a little vacation to, I don't know, some national forest. And it was cool. And we were making some moves. Let's just say we were making some moves. Unfortunately, when we got back and I was about to make some more moves, my internet died. Yippee! And so we literally, like, the game blocked us from our romance. Our game blocked us, or my Wi-Fi blocked me from having my video game romance, and I just could not let that slide. So I'm back to take revenge and get my mans. Listen, if it goes out again, it's a sign that I can never play Our Life again, bro. I'm sitting here like, damn, bro, I know I was talking mad shit on them DLCs. I mean, like, the DLCs for, like, the other love interests, I don't care. I just need more Cove. Like, I get it now. Put them shits in my wish list expeditiously, for real. But that's all I have to say up front here. Let me switch this over and pause a little bit and give you desktop audio and minimize this and actually be on my Twitch tab. Wow. Alright. Let me put my knitting to the side. Get out of here, sock. Nobody wants you. I mean, that's not true. I do, but not right now. Yo, Amber's Tale, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. How are you? I hope your stream was super slow. We were just getting started over here, so it's actually good timing for you. You say that now, but I know you're gonna eat that shit up if you get the DLC for the other characters. You're right. You're literally actually right, probably. Yo, thank you so much for the follow, King of Pine. Thank you. I love the DLC. This is my first time playing the game at all, so we're going just vanilla. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm really liking it. Things are heating up in terms of we're about to confess something. Hopefully it works and he's not just like, wait, no. Like, we're getting in this. If anybody from Amberstream needs to do any post-stream care or whatnot, feel free. I appreciate you popping in. I'm ready to get into this. I'm excited. I'm hyped up. Okay. This is where we're starting from. Let me look at our previous stuff. We were doing a little bit of flirting. We're in stage 2 right now, if anybody needs to know. Okay. Not only because it was when you first met. Oh yeah, we wore the anklet for him. I forgot. They were like, do you want to put on an anklet? And I was like, absolutely. Absolutely, bro. But it was a season that you two could spend almost entirely as you pleased. And you both chose to spend it together. Okay. I'm ready. Last time I clicked that I wanted to let him know. And then my internet nerfed me. So I'm letting him know, bro. Like, I'm standing on business. Like I said, I need to go into high school knowing we're secured. Okay, no other people can step on it. Now is the time. You couldn't go another day without expressing these feelings you held. Like, we've laid everything out on the table, you know what I'm saying? Like, we told the truth about the bribery from his dad. Like, we have everything out in the open. I just started the DLC for romance for a DLC character. How are you liking it? Do you like it more than Cove's story, or you're like, we gotta wait and see? I'm about to throw hands for your man. Listen, I'll do what I need to do. I don't have the DLC, so I gotta fight for what I can have. Okay. Okay, I think this is where we left off. I didn't get to choose which way we were gonna go about it. Actually, I think I might have asked if I could kiss him. Yo, Emperor's Tail, thank you so much for the follow. You are the goat. Hee hee hee. I love him there. Thank you. I think I asked, cause like, listen, last time we tried kissing him, we woke up the entire van and I had to restart that scene because I could not handle the secondhand embarrassment. So I'm gonna ask first because consent is important. There's a wedding DLC, never wanted it to end. Oh, I need it. I already need it. I'm not even there and I want it so bad. Yeah, I'm gonna ask first. Okay. Can I kiss you? Cove's eyebrows shot up fast enough that they could have flown off of his face. As a match, his mouth might have dropped off his head for how much it fell open. Plus, you know, we gotta tease because it's funny.
What?
What do you mean, why? What? Why? He claps his hands over his mouth, his eyebrows lowered, but expression no less terrified. Oh, no, I didn't mean... That's not how I meant it. It's not a bad idea or something, but why just say that right now? Because, you know, I'm being what I can't be in real life, and that's open and honest. Because I want to right now. I don't know. I don't want to wait any longer. Why not? Because I want to. Like, why do you think I asked? I don't know, just cause. Cove's chest began to rise and fall visibly as he swallowed short breaths in quick succession. We're gonna give bro a heart attack. Take deep breaths. It's okay. There's always to tell him you love him in the next step. It's so cute. Oh. See, I feel like I'm gonna need to play this multiple times just to get like the different things you can do. Like, what happens if I keep the secret forever?
Sorry.
Sorry for being weird. It's just, I kind of thought or hoped that sometime something like this might happen with us talking about liking each other.
Listen, I tell you literally every second of the day, bro. What dies first, Luna's internet or Cove from a heart attack? Help. Also, hello, Hydra. I don't remember if I said hello to you earlier. Or Black Blue. Hello, everybody. You did? You were thinking about it before? He nodded ever so slightly. Your face felt a lot hotter after that. Cove brightened a little at your positive reaction, and his explanation continued.
Well, could sort of picture how it might go. What it'd be like with you and me. But just the first part. I couldn't ever imagine anything that'd come after. Now it's actually happened. We're there. It's...
He took another deep breath, stuttering on the exhale.
That's,
This makes things different.
Okay, different how? Different bad? Different good? Be honest. The VA for Baxter showed up on my stream again. I would say he showed up on my stream before. My first time. Which, you know, I was very judgy, I'm not gonna lie, when I was first playing. I was like, oh, why, what, DLC? What do you mean? Because in my head, I was like, oh, DLC means maybe the OG story's not as good as they needed to expand on it. But I don't think that's the case now that I've played it. Things don't have to be different. I pretty much imagined you'd react like this. This is hard for me. Should we find a crystal ball for answers? I mean, things don't have to be different. He gave you a... I never know how to say this. Is this Juan or Wayne? Smile.
Thanks, but I don't think that'll work. I can't just forget. I definitely can't.
Finally, Cove drew in a deeper breath than you would have thought his lungs could hold. That's what he did, real. Juan like Swan. Okay, got you. You love it? Is it good? We haven't met him yet. I just know that he exists. I've never seen that word in my life. Good thing you have more years to learn. They must have managed somehow, however, because he held it in without so much as a puff exhale. Oh, sorry. That would have made sense if he had been about to dive underwater, but sitting in the middle of your room, it was an odd and concerning choice. Cove? Are you alright? He didn't respond, sitting as rigidly as a statue. You were about to get up, or at least nudge the chair with your foot, when he let out the breath and took another. This one, while deep, wasn't quite as dramatic. Damn it. Give me the direction before I do it. You can meet him into DLC at the teen moments. Oh, got you. Wait, is he waiting for you to kiss him? Maybe? I don't know. This one, while deep, wasn't quite as dramatic. No, I think he's thinking. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Okay.
His voice cracked on the second. His voice cracked on the word. The O squeaking out, followed by a dip on the second syllable. Okay. You perked up, straightening up in your seat. I'm perking up in my seat.
Okay.
It wasn't clear whether it was a response to your original question or the follow-up where you asked if he was alright, but having him speak again was a good start.
We can kiss. I want to do that.
I just want to, my cute aggression. I just want to, crush him like a plushie in my hands. I have very intense cute aggression. It's not my fault. I'm just like, yeah, baby, that's what I'm waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo! Varian, we've cooked for this, chat. We've cooked for this. A gasp escaped you. It was okay. He wanted to kiss you. Hell yeah, I'm kissing him. What the fuck? We're going all in, baby. You untangled yourself from your resting position and stood up. Realizing your intent to actually go for it, Cove straightened up in the chair, his hands coiled together in his lap. As you moved towards him, you noticed his knees knocking together as he trembled. His decision not to rise from the chair made perfect sense. He's like, I will just fall and collapse and die if I stand up. Then his full DLC gets brought in after this part of the game. Oh, that makes sense. You know, lay the foundations. I honestly don't think I've ever seen a cuter boy before, period. If he was that shaky while sitting down, there was no way he'd manage to stand without at least one of you falling over. Your legs brushed against his quivering ones as you came to a stop in front of him. Cove was staring up at you. As you leaned in towards him, he echoed the motion and drew in towards you. I'm assuming we're gonna accidentally, bash faces or something. We're gonna break his glasses. I like Cove with glasses. I think he's meant to have them. In my mind, he's meant to have glasses. I just, that's my prerogative. Once you were close enough to feel Cove's breath on your face, maybe it's because I'm biased because I wear glasses, you closed your eyes. The last thing you saw was Cove quickly doing the same. Oh! We did it! Yeah!
Oh, my fellas.
Yeah! Successful kiss!
Your lips met with Cove's for a moment. His lips were pressed tightly together, unyielding, but it was alright. You were kissing him, and he was kissing you. Your stomach somersaulted. You couldn't believe it was really happening. In that moment, it felt warm, and it felt nice, and it felt right. Yeah! You drew back, and Cove slipped down into his chair, the knuckles of his hands pale after gripping so tightly. He's like, I have to go think about this. It's been swell. I'll see you later. Stress wobbles out of the room. Thinking that he could do with some space to breathe, figuratively and literally, you took a step back. Cove shot up, his stance rigid. Cove plastered a hand over his mouth, his eyes shut tight. His back then became bowed, shrinking him down. You could only just make out the few words he managed to summon.
Oh my god.
He's just a little guy.
I can't believe we actually...
His eyes flew open wide, but he didn't look your way, let alone meet your gaze.
Oh my god.
He said, "Oh my god!" Yeah. Literally, the cat kissed you like, "Mwah."
We kissed.
You were full of nerves. His reaction was really cute. You watched him adoringly as he tried to gather his senses. Cove only slammed his eyes closed once again. Bro's like rolling around on the floor, clawing the carpets. Did you like it? Was that bad? It was nice, wasn't it? Cove, it's okay. Did I do something wrong? Did you like it?
Oh my god!
I gotta say, you're very cute. Listen, he is so cute. I have to. Did you like it? What'd you think, bro? Be honest. The technique, how was the technique? It was my first time. He was still holding the hand to his face, but in an attempt to answer, he emitted a muffled whimper. A muffled whimper. With that obviously not working, he uncovered his face at last, bringing the hand to lay against his chest and looked at you.
Yeah.
He opened his mouth, poised to speak, and pursed his lips as words failed him. On his third or fourth attempt, you heard what he had to say.
I did like it. I'm glad that we, you know...
He swallowed, seemingly not able to speak the actual word. That we kissed? Cove ducked his head but nodded. I'm sorry, I said he was clawing the carpets. We don't have carpets. He was clawing the hardwood. You got the impression, which makes sense that we don't have carpets considering we probably track sand all over the place. It makes no sense to have carpets here. You got the impression that he was grateful that you'd finished the thought, but your direct words had pierced his Achilles heel. You grinned, thrilled that the experience had been a welcome one. The smile on Cove's face was real but weary, not unlike the one he wore after a long and exhausting day at the beach. Like when he found a new treasure. The work had been hard, but the reward had been worth it. With some newfound confidence, he drew himself up as he inhaled deeply. Each word he spoke next was delicate.
Luna.
Oh my gosh! Luna, I like you.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Play it again.
All my fellas.
Yes! That means we're dating, right? Shall I ask you out, love?
A lot. Probably way too much.
Oh, how I wish they voiced the actual confession from him. I know. Maybe it would have happened if I did it later. Like when we were adults or something. I have no idea. But listen, I'm getting in there, bro. I'm not wasting no time. Honestly, technically, I think I could have wasted less time. Like, we could have probably already been together right now. Because I think you can have... Wait. No, because didn't I start off as fond? Never mind. I think I'm a liar. Shut me up. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I forget the options that you get to choose for your feelings when you guys are both kids. I can't remember. He ducked his head bashfully and opened an eye, peeking at you through the hair that had fallen over his face like a veil. He'd managed to smile.
Thanks for waiting for me.
Period. Boo. I was waiting for it. As soon as the game gave me the opportunity, I said, you know what I'm about to do? His eyes sparkled just looking at you, his affection transparently clear. He could never hide what he was feeling, and you couldn't be more grateful for that today. Woohoo! Okay, what should we do? What's the move here? Obviously, I'm not gonna just smile, bruh. Hug him, I like you too. You breathe a sigh of relief, I like you even more. Well, listen, we can't be too desperate. He's gotta like me. Well, he's gotta think he likes me more than him, but like, I secretly like him more than he likes me, probably. But that's like on the low key. I'm gonna be straight up. I like you too, brother. Cove squeaked out a nervous giggle. He curled his hand into a loose fist and brushed the knuckles idly against his cheek. Words evaded him as he opened his mouth and closed it again.
I don't...
He gave up on finishing the sentence, instead just smiling again. He rubbed his eyes with the heel of his hands. It was an action usually reserved for much later in the day, but at this point it already felt like a long day. What time is it? Is it still morning? I can't even remember. Cove then pressed a hand to his creased forehead.
Oh my god.
Does this mean I'm your boyfriend or something now? Should we tell our parents?
Absolutely not. Don't tell them. Don't tell them anything. This is a secret. If we tell them, they will never let us hang out together. Never. They're always gonna be like, oh, they're out here kissing. We've already been pushing it a little too much. I ain't even gonna lie. So, like, they're already hella sus. But we cannot give them that extra inch. Definitely that, kind of like how I mentioned before, you have him wrapped around your finger, but you still almost die from his cuteness. It's true. He's like literally, he's like the little cat, the wet cat I rescued off the beach that I want to put in my purse and take him with me everywhere I go. Yeah, I mean, listen, they already know, but like, they don't need we don't need to confirm that we're like actually dating. Cause then that like tips it from like, haha, speculation, like, teasing about it happening eventually to, oh crap, it's happened and we've got to make sure they have the talk.
I don't know what Mom or Dad would do.
There were a lot of concerns in there. You honed in on the simplest. There was no way your moms will let you have a boyfriend, even though that word juxtaposed with Cove's name made your heart race. My parents won't let me have a boyfriend or even a something. It's not fair. I wish we were older. It's okay. It doesn't matter, though. We like each other, and that's what's important. Period! Nothing anybody else thought about your relationship changed what it was between the two of you. Cove lifted his hand from his chest and reached towards you, halting halfway, then slowly, cautiously, hooked his fingers around yours, his palm pressing against the back of your hand. Oh my god! Oh my god! Chat, is this Riz? I'm holding his hand back. Ma! You rotated your hand so that you were palm to palm with Cove, your thumbs crossing one another.
We can...
Ooh! Budding relationship. During Sub 2, confess to Cove that you like him. Period!
We can get it to work. We always figure things out, sooner or later.
You're right. No matter what, it's okay in the end when it's the two of us. Your forthright statement made Cove gasp, but the smile that followed, and his tighter grip on your hand, told you that he appreciated it.
Luna, Cove!
We're like... spring apart. Nothing happened here this day. The sudden call from downstairs caught you both unaware. You'd nearly forgotten the world outside your room. From the guilty look on his face, Cove had done the same.
Just had a call. Cove's mom is ready to go. If you're quick, she might keep the mandated motherly smothering to a minimum.
You doubted that. I forgot we were taking his mom to the airport, bro. You doubted that, but it was nice that Mom and Miss Priest had their strange sense of humor in common. You met Cove, your eyes met Cove's. Wordlessly, you headed downstairs together. We're like, shut the fuck up, don't say nothing. Don't say it, don't think it, the pee pee poo poo man. Each step on the way there was painfully slow, like he was trying to delay the inevitable. His whole body tensed leaving the house, and Cove froze altogether before you both could cross the street.
Oh.
The door's open. Dad must be taking her stuff out.
He swallowed hard. Gulp.
She's really gonna leave.
You smiled at him reassuringly. You gave his back a pat. You rested your hand on his arm. I don't know. What do I want to say? Like, what would help in this situation? Words or actions? I think I'm just gonna rest my hand on his arms, because, like, obviously he knows this isn't the last time he's gonna ever seen her. That's not what he means. You felt a small shiver ripple through his body as the warmth from your hand sank in. Cove looked at you like he was hoping you had a solution for how he was feeling. And all you could do was give his arm a squeeze for support. Listen, I don't think there's anything that I could really say. At that, some of the conflict warring on his face eased a bit. Together, you went across the street and inside his house, finding his parents in the living room surrounded by his mom's packed things. Hey, kids.
Good timing. I just called a taxi.
Hi.
And hi, Luna. So glad I get to see you today. It was fabulous getting to know you this summer. I finally got to put a face to the name I've heard so many times.
She winked and Cove pouted on cue over the teasing. Bye. Sorry, that was the first one I saw. You know, I'm really happy I got to meet you too.
Hopefully it won't be too long before you see each other again.
Nodding, Kyra turned her attention back to her boys. She patted Cliff on the arm with a warm smile, and then she enveloped Cove in a crushing hug. Initially, Cove squirmed to break free from her grip, but his mom was unfazed and kept him locked in place. Heartbeats later, he gave in and hugged her back tightly.
I'm so glad.
I'm so glad this trip was a success. Cliff looks like he was bursting with pride. Well, not 100% success, but still a passing grade, I think. Thinking back on everything that happened this summer, he started to look sheepish. Cliff scratched the side of his head, and an awkward chuckle escaped Cove. There were ways it could have gone smoother. I'm still keeping that in mind for the future.
All right.
Good for you, Cliff, and I'll be trying harder to stay more in the loop.
You watched as Cove smiled softly at both his parents, and you felt relieved seeing how much the whole family had come together since you first met them. Despite any underlying troubles, love was still there. After that, it wasn't long before the taxi arrived, rolling up in front of the house and in clear view of the open door. Kyra stood up, smiling sadly.
Well, that's my ride.
Yeah, they're like, I don't want you to leave. For different reasons. In my head, I don't know if this is true. This is just the vibes that I'm getting. I think low-key, Cliff. I hate it. I hate that name. Clifford here. I think he still really likes her. I think she, like, I'm pretty sure they said that she was the one who asked for a divorce. So, like, and, like, I get why she did. But, like, he still has feelings. And he's like, I don't want you to go because I love you still. Whereas, obviously, Kova's like, damn, bro, I don't want my mom to leave. What the fuck? The matching reply got a chuckle out of Kyra as you filed out of the house. Sorry, I'm having a stroke. Father and son went with Kyra's bags in hand. Once outside, you spotted your family waiting by the street. And to your surprise, Derek was also with him. Yo, Derek, I haven't seen you in a hot minute, brother. He stood uncomfortably, and he waved as soon as you noticed him.
What's up?
Hey, Luna.
Hi, Cove. When did you get here?
My dad dropped me off just a little bit ago, though I could visit one more time before school started.
Sorry.
You... Who's this? Oh, Derek's, I think his dad is, like, business partners with Cove's dad, so, he's here for the summer, I think? Question mark? Or not here for the summer. I think he just, like, comes back and forth with his dad. We saw him at the beginning of this step, but you don't really see him later. I know he's one of, like, the DLC love interests, to my knowledge. So.
You picked a busy time. Sorry.
Derek couldn't even look at Cove. He nervously kept rolling a pebble with the bottom of his shoe, which means that maybe he likes me? I don't know. But, like, listen, sorry, my free boo thing is here.
Sorry.
I wasn't even thinking that your mom would be leaving today. I'm sorry, dude.
What? You're not interrupting anything. You're always welcome here.
I would have been sad if I didn't get to say goodbye before leaving.
Derek came to hang out often, so it was inevitable that the two had met at some point this season.
I think so too.
It was apparent Derek would have preferred to have gotten there at a more opportune moment. He never liked seeming impolite, but their reassuring words soothed his worries. The tension he was holding in his body lessened, and he looked like he was feeling much more like himself.
Bye, Derek. It was fun getting to know you. Bye, ma'am. Is there anything I can do to help?
Nah,
don't worry yourself over that. We're just about set. In the short amount of time, Cliff had gathered and packed the bags into the trunk. Kyra took one last look at everyone inside.
All right, I don't want to keep the driver waiting. It's time to head out.
He's supposed to be the same age, right? Yeah. I think he's the same age as us. He's just short. He's just short and Cove is freakishly tall. My headcanon is that Derek likes Cove and knows you are his love rival. That's funny as fuck. Hello, Ilamau, how are you? She placed her attention on Cove.
I'll call when I get to the airport and when I make it to Nevada.
Bro, like, you're leaving your family just to go live in some other shit hot place? Like, you should just move here. Like, why are you pissing me off? Also, you better call the moment you walk into the door at home. Otherwise, we'll be wondering all night if you got into trouble on the way there.
Can do.
I can do that. And could you call tomorrow, too? So I can tell you how school went? Of course. I want to hear all about it.
Kyra put a hand on Cove's head and affectionately ruffled his hair one last time. She then let go, only to move on to squeezing his cheeks in her hands instead. Mom!
Cove.
My girlfriend not girlfriend is watching!
I love you so much, baby!
She was chuckling by the time she freed him and rounded things off with a small tap on the tip of his nose. Cove rubbed at his face with a grin. Finally, she walked to the car while waving and took her seat in the taxi. Cove hooked his arm around Cove. Sorry, did I say Cove? Cliff hooked his arm around Cove's shoulder and kept him close as it began to pull away. For a moment, Cove looked up at his dad, then wrapped an arm around his back.
Bye.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, travel safe. Kyra rolled down the window and stuck her head out of it. She waved again while blowing kisses at Cove and Cliff.
See you again!
Before she was out of sight, you decided to... Yes. As you added your voice to the others, you watched Kyra's smile grow larger. The cab turned down another road and completely disappeared from view. Cove let go of his dad and took a few steps out into the empty street, still looking in the direction his mom went. He smiled quietly, deep in thought. You got the impression Cove was feeling better than he was earlier. He was finally content with the way things were. You jumped a bit when your mom put a hand on your shoulder, pulling you away from your thoughts. She smiled when you looked at her.
This was a great vacation, huh?
Hell yes, brother. Hell yeah.
That's what I was hoping to hear.
Cove walked back over to the group, still genuinely happy. Derek grinned at him welcomingly, and everyone else there smiled at him, even Elizabeth.
Well?
Ma clapped her hands together, bringing everyone's attention back to the present. How have they made a family where I like every character? Bro, I don't know what crack they put in this game, bro, but they sprinkled so much of it in here. Literally. She already sees you as her stepdaughter, even daughter-in-law. But yeah. Like, she's like, yeah, I already know Cove's mom and dad and my parents definitely have, like, had, like, a parent date where they're, like, talking about it. They're like, oh, 100%, bro. I'm waiting any day now.
It's almost lunchtime. I think I'll put together something special.
Her eyes sparkled with a plan, and Mom smiled.
I bet you could use some help with that. That'd be absolutely wonderful.
Derek glanced between the two, his eyebrows furrowed. He's quite literally just a little guy. He's literally 2 pixels tall.
Is there anything I could do?
Your mom's exchanged a fond expression. Ma shook her head.
How sweet.
That's very sweet, Derek, but it's all right. It's not your job. Technically, your dad left you under Cliff's watch. You're meant to be taken care of by him, not doing chores for the neighbors.
Mom laughed a little over her joke. You watched Derek look away, discouraged.
It's okay.
It's okay. I don't mind.
He was a little bashful about it. You wondered if Mom's joke had just reminded him that he wasn't initially meant to be invited to lunch. It was getting a little awkward. Mom grinned sympathetically. Her comment was meant to lighten the mood, not bring it back down. Ma tried again to get things moving forward.
Why don't you kids go have fun? You can all come back in about an hour. We'll make enough for everyone.
Mom nodded in agreement.
Sounds good.
Another stunning idea, Lonnie. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That sounds like a plan. I don't want to cramp your style. I've got some stuff to work on, so I can be out of your hair this afternoon. You should come by later, too. No reason you should be the odd man out. Mom seemed amused as Cliff rubbed his neck nervously. He grinned a wavering but pleased smile.
Thanks very much.
I appreciate the invite. He looked over the assembled crowd with knowing glances. I can help too. With as many people as you're feeding, that's going to be a lot of food. Didn't you hear what we told to Derek? It wouldn't be fair to make you cook when we're the ones who are inviting you in. Ma raised an eyebrow when Cliff waved it off.
Come on.
I insist. Derek would be missing time with his pals. This would be a break for me. I'm quite the chef. Ma and Mom exchanged further glances before Mom shrugged.
True.
An airtight argument. Why does the music feel so loud? If you're sure, we'll be happy to have you, Chef Cliff. Cliff's grin widened and seemed more hyped than you had expected him to be about helping with lunch. Cove shook his head, a fond smile on his face. I mean, bro, how many friends does this guy have? He's probably more friendless than Cove is. Then all of us grown-up people will be heading inside. I assume the rest of you kiddos are staying out. Maybe not all of them. Ma tilted her head, a silent question for Elizabeth. Your sister thought for a moment.
All right.
I'll stay with the kids. Oh, listen, you can't let Derek be a third wheel, Pooks. You gotta come. I'll stay with the kids.
That's fantastic.
That's great. Both your moms smiled at her, while Derek and Cove didn't seem to appreciate her phrasing. But with the plan decided, all three parents waved and headed for your house. It was just you teenagers now. Elizabeth looked at you and the others, a curious expression on her face. So, what now? I don't know why the music seems like so freaking loud. I swear, it changes every time. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm tripping. You silently wondered if Elizabeth only stayed out with you to avoid getting roped into work. I mean, she's actually real and valid for that, to be fair. Then again, she could just generally want to hang out. You couldn't tell with your sister. Cove spoke up after no one else did to answer Elizabeth's question. Want to go down to the shopping street? It's been a while, and I don't think there's a lot of other things we could agree on. Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Awesome. Sounds awesome to me. Unlike you guys, I haven't been there 1,001 times. It's new to me. Let's do it. You strolled across the road as a group, down to the beach and then to the left. It took less than 15 minutes to arrive, one of the conveniences of Sunset Bird. The four of you looked down. Oh my god. Put me away. This is what happens when I'm like leaning back, casually trying to read over my fucking mic arm. It does sound like it gets higher at certain points. Maybe they lower it when someone's speaking. Oh, true. I wonder how long it will take for Lizzie to realize your new relationship, and if she can keep it a secret when if she finds out, she's telling everybody. She literally cannot find out, or we're gonna be screwed. Listen, hopefully she just takes it all as like, you know, our normal shit. The four of you looked around at the familiar shops, trying to see if anything caught your attention this time. Derek was the most enthusiastic. He checked out every stall with his eyes, wide with wonder. Elizabeth and Cove were in good spirits as well. That's so cool! He ran over to a street magician, the same one, who was currently doing a card trick for a group of enchanted tourists. Derek clapped when the magician showed a middle-aged man his card. Derek turned back to the group with a curious gleam on his face. What do you have in mind?
What does it take to perform here anyway? Do you have to ask somebody, or do you just show up and start doing stuff?
Who would you even ask? It's a public street. Hey, Miss Mayor, can I pull a rabbit out of my hat? Please. Flopsy is well behaved, I promise.
Derek chuckled, his eyes searching up and down the scene.
Maybe there's a boss of the shopping street? No one does any of this around my neighborhood. It's just regular stores behind walls.
Listen, it's because we're a tourist town, Derek. We gotta make that shmoney.
It's different if someone wants a real store. But here, I'm pretty sure people are just putting on their little shows wherever they want and do whatever.
That's so neat. Would we be allowed to do something too?
Cove laughed, and Derek almost began vibrating with excitement. Elizabeth rolled her eyes.
What would we do? Well, I don't know yet. I don't know what. Not yet, I mean. I just found out it's a possibility, you know? But there's gotta be something. You know, cool stuff. I'm sure if we think about it, we could plan a show that gets a crowd really pumped up.
You thought it was a great idea and wanted to be part of it. Absolutely not. I do think you need a permit to do a street performances in some places. Yeah, because if not, it could be like a safety violation, I think. You thought it was a great idea and wanted to be part of it. You felt he could try the idea on his own. You thought Derek needed to abandon that bad idea stat. You gave a look at the other two. What's everyone else thinking? Derek can continue to brainstorm out loud about different potential performances, while you glanced over at Cove and Elizabeth.
I mean, I can bounce a soccer ball on my head. Last time I tried, I got 8 bounces before it fell.
I wouldn't bring a ball here.
Why? Why not?
Cove gestured to everything around. The stalls, the people, all the colorful chaos that made up the shopping street.
Would you want to chase a lost ball here? And what if you hit somebody? Even if you're good, someone else could bump into you.
That's true. Derek thought about it some more. Then he watched another performer, a woman doing tricks with 2 small dogs. One was fluffy and cream-colored, while the other was a cool gray. The woman held up rings. Both animals jumped through the openings, happy to receive a treat at the end. Derek brightened.
Maybe I'll teach crabs how to race.
Guys, if I could go one stream without the mention of crabs, that'd be great. I swear, like, I can't escape the mentioning of crabs. Somehow, I don't know how this is Pidgey's fault, but it is Pidgey's fault. Not possible, help.
Maybe I'll teach crabs how to race.
Crabs?
It could work.
With some amusement, the gang continued to peruse the stalls. Elizabeth found some earrings with a dangly, badly misprinted globe that everyone laughed at. Cove picked out a blob of ice as Iceland, but Derek thought it had to be Greenland.
You know, this is a world with what looks like 9 continents. I think you're both wrong.
No, it's Australia. The curse of Pidgey, real. I don't want my sister to hate me, though. But obviously, like, okay. I'm always siding with Cove. He knows that's my Pookie Wookie. I think I'm gonna side with my sister because, you know, I don't want her to hate me. And I want us to be, like, on a good relationship. So, like, you know, I feel like I need to take her side sometimes. And to be fair, I think she is making sense. Elizabeth makes a good point. Suddenly, Cove froze. You stared at him and then tried to see what caught his attention. When you saw a familiar face down the way, it all made sense. No, tell me not. It's not this kid I tried to deck at the beginning of summer. How can you betray your boyfriend the day you got together? Listen, I don't think we made it official. It was just like, you know, we like each other. We're acknowledging that. Anything, we can decide what happens next later. Listen, you know what they say, bros before hoes, man. I do trash on my sister a lot, so I gotta make up in some ways. I gotta give her. She could never get that 100, but I'm gonna give you an 80. Between the crowds, his bright hair stood out like a neon green bowl in a kitchen sink. It was Jeremy. Elizabeth, get his ass. See, look, I was just nice to Elizabeth, so hopefully she'll have my back, bro. What got you into this game? A while ago, like over a year ago, I think, somebody recommended it to me, and I added it to my Steam library and then forgot about it.
And then this February, I did an entire month of only playing dating sims or like games that had like romantic elements to it. I counted. And so I brought this game out because I knew that it was like romancy. So I was like, well, I gotta play this. I got to play this for February. He did ask if he was your boyfriend, and I said my parents wouldn't let me have one. I was like, my parents won't let me have a boyfriend, so I don't know. And he's like, damn, bro, I don't think so. Mine either. And then we were just like, well, you know, whatever we are, we know we like each other. And that's based. Jeremy slowly drifted his eyes down the street, and his eyes widened in mutual recognition. He definitely noticed you. Derek frowned and Cove sighed. Neither of them were happy to see him again. You stood there shocked. You glared at Jeremy. You waved at Jeremy. You decided to smile at Jeremy. You looked away. Guys, what do we do? Do we stand on business? Like, once a grudge, always a grudge? Pidgey00, count your fucking days, pal. I just saw you open Marvel Rivals. Fuck him. He made fun of Cove. You're right, he did. Only I can make fun of Cove's wonky little eyebrows. Never back down, never what? Always be a hater! Yeah! You narrowed your eyes and projected your dislike. Elizabeth raised an eyebrow. Her gaze swept over Jeremy without a hint of a clue. Jeremy simply scoffed to himself and waded deeper into the crowd of people. Derek relaxed and exhaled loudly.
I'm glad he's not gonna start anything.
He peeked over at Elizabeth with a tiny smirk.
See? That was the mean kid.
What?
Huh?
She still didn't get it. The first summer day hadn't been nearly as much of an impression on her as it did for Derek, but he smiled and waved it off.
Just forget about him.
I already have. He laughed and Cove smiled lightly. He seemed in a much better mood now that Jeremy was gone. Your eyes wandered over to where Jeremy disappeared. You hadn't forgotten the day you met him either. He was only going to be in town for a vacation with his parents he hated. That glimpse was probably the last time you would ever see him, thank God. I still say they should have let you deck him. I know, right, bro? I appreciate them not letting me get in trouble, but they made him more cocky. Like, they should have let me punch his ass. You mentioned that realization to everyone. You kept that thought to yourself. I don't even know what I said. I forgot. I'm gonna mention it. Jeremy's probably gone for good now. It's time for him to get back to wherever he's from.
Yeah. Guess we don't have to worry about that guy anymore.
Derek kicked at a little rock in the road. It clattered forward and then rolled under a stall.
But I still think it's kind of sad Jeremy turned out to be, well, like he is. It would have been nice to make another friend.
Listen, we probably could have befriended him, but listen, he came out the gate being a bitch, so I couldn't work with that. And I know somebody's gonna say, like, didn't Cove come off kind of mean at first? Yeah, he did, but when he did it, it was cute. And he wasn't, like, mean nasty. He was just a tsundere. But not like fully, though. Just a little crumb. Cove shook his head. He was clearly not broken up over what might have been. Good riddance. I think I might want to see him again sometime. I don't. Maybe he'll be nicer in the future. I'm happy he's over. You stay quiet. Good riddance, bitch. Elizabeth rolled her eyes at the strange farewell to the odd boy. Not interested in the slightest. She clearly didn't understand his impact, and at this point, she didn't want to understand. See, that's where we differ, because I'm nosy, so I would have been like, yo, what's the tea here? Like, explain the situation. Yeah, he wasn't mean. He was just upset. Which, like, made his comments sometimes come off a little ruder than he intended, I think. You can't help but wonder, though, what would have happened if you had interacted with Jeremy more? You were glad you wouldn't find out. Jeremy was unlike anyone you had ever met before. You thought he was horrible. You thought he was weird. You thought he was stupid. You thought he was kind of pitiful. You thought he was kind of okay. I thought he was horrible. You and the group moved on from the stall and from Jeremy. It didn't take long for everyone to return to joking. You all enjoyed what little time you had left, as Elizabeth mentioned the hour was almost up. The little trip had flown by and lunch must have been waiting for you now. Derek bounced on the balls of his feet.
Okay.
Come on, guys. Let's get going so we can eat. I'm starving.
If we have to, I can't wait. Phew, I've had enough walking around. Homebound, here we go. Dude, I'm hungry. Cove stretched one of his arms lazily.
Let's go then.
You looked at him appraisingly. Bro, no, I'm not gonna ask him to carry me. That's crazy work, right? Right? That's crazy work. Especially not in front of Elizabeth. Because she's gonna be like... raised eyebrow emoji. Like, we already know... Listen, we already know where you stand. Right? Or what do you guys think? What do you think we should do? Once again, I use this as just an opportunity to drink my shoddy. What drink are you drinking if you're drinking a drink? I want to see if you would do it. Okay. Hey, Cove.
Yeah?
Could you carry me back home?
What?
It was just to see if you would do it.
What?
Cove turned red, obviously flustered. You explained you wanted a piggyback ride. You didn't want to walk home. You told him it was a special occasion. You decided to let it go. I want a piggyback ride. I don't want to walk back. I'm so lazy, Cove. It's a special occasion. Aw, what should we say? I feel like these are a lot of good options besides the last one. Like, listen, I've committed to the bid. Now I just gotta do it, right? I feel like these are all reasonable things to say. It's a special occasion. I like the special occasion. I think that special transportation makes sense on such a big day. Cove sighed and shook his head. Elizabeth and Derek became a chorus of laughter. Come on, Cove, it'll be fun, and I won't have to walk home.
All right.
Cove stepped over to you. He looked like he couldn't believe what he was doing. Your lips quirked into a large smile. Aw, yeah, thanks. He carefully crouched down in front of you so that you could climb on. It took a little bit of clambering to get yourself completely up on Cove's back, that tall, lanky bitch. However, when Cove slipped his arms under your legs and stood up, you felt very secure. Elizabeth watched with a smirk on her face. Don't... She's gonna tease me about this later. She's gonna be like, so what was that, huh? And I'll be like, that's called Riz, baby. Learn about it. While Derek laughed even harder, it was fair to say that your antics were entertaining. You were glad Cove went with it. Cove carried you home, but he seemed pretty bashful about the situation. Listen, the fact that he could make it all the way home, like, okay, maybe surfing's not all you do. He struggled with how much to grip around you and whether or not he should be trying to reposition things. But along with all of that, he also seemed to feel some pride to be carrying you. Period. It was a pleasant walk home, and in no time, you had made it back. Derek got the front door and held it open for everyone as you each moseyed inside. The three parents were still in the kitchen. They looked up and waved. I'm hoping I hopped off his back before I got inside, because I don't want to hear them be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Aw, he's cute. Look at us. We're just a couple of guys.
Welcome back, everyone. You made it just in time.
Hey.
I hope you're hungry.
When Cove had brought you inside, the parents couldn't help but notice the odd confusion. Why didn't I hop off before I got inside? The funniest thing about you bragging about your Cove Riz to Lizzie is that you don't actually want her to know you officially got him. Listen, she can know I got Riz, but she can't know that it's official Riz. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, this is Riz, bro. This is how you pull bitches. And then she'd be like, but it doesn't even count because you don't actually have him. And I'd be like, uh-huh. Oh, yeah. But in the back of my head, I'd be like, haha, little does she know. Listen, it's nothing crazy. I was just lazy. They're like, did somebody get hurt again? What the fuck? Your moms weren't sure, and Mr. Holden raised an eyebrow.
Everything okay?
Did you pull something, Luna?
I'm okay.
Aw, Cove, you've gotten so strong.
Good kid.
And reliable, too. What a guy.
Cove rolled his eyes at the commentary, then started walking to your couch. You bent down and you let yourself plop back on the couch. Like, get you a man.
Like, just know if they wanted to, they would. and now they know for sure. They're like, bro, I bet you it was all they talked about when we left. And now they're gonna be like, hey kids, you wanna go upstairs and go like wash your hands or something? And then they're gonna be whispering like, y'all saw that? Cliff is gonna be texting Kyra like, yo, you're not gonna believe what happened. Thanks for the lift. Cove exhaled loudly and shook out his arms. He just seemed relieved that he made it.
So, did everyone have a nice time out?
She gestured for people to take a seat at the table. Plates and silverware had already been placed out. You took your normal seat. Elizabeth sat across from you, and Derek took the seat to your left. Lipstick in my Valentino white bag? What about my right? Sorry. Cove sat on your right. Oh, thank God. I hope he's not a lefty, though, because we're going to be bumping elbows. But he blushed a little and began fidgeting with his silverware. His dad was the first to pick up on his extra awkwardness, but your moms weren't far behind. Cove, stop! They're gonna figure it out, bro. Oh my God. Listen, Cove, let me do all the talking. You shut the fuck up. The parents shared look at Cove's reaction. It seemed that he was struggling with how to act normal around his dad or your parents, or both, after what happened between the two of you upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had a great time. Thank God Derek's here, bro. Because imagine he wasn't, and it was just my fam, and then Cove and his dad.
It was fine.
I had fun. Yeah, the bank heist went off without a hitch. Listen, I have to say that. That's something I would actually say. Your joke got some chuckles going around the table. I'm a little jokester. You know how it is. That's good in my book. Casually, Mr. Holden said, oh. Nah, when parents do something casually, you know something's up. Nah, I'm stressed. They wouldn't bring it up in front of the other two, would they? Casually, Mr. Holden sat in the empty seat across from Cove. He smiled at you and all the other kids. Mom set down a platter full of water glasses on the table. She looked down at the gathering.
It's a good thing we have 8 chairs for some reason, even though we only have 4 people. But some people just keep coming over. It's a good thing we have 8 chairs. I can't remember the last time we've had a group this big over for a meal. Can you pass the drinks down to the other side? Make sure you all get one.
Sure. Those close to the cups obliged and started offering waters around. As you passed Cove his drink, your hands touched. Cove froze. You had already let go, not really realizing he was too distracted to function in that moment. Oh my God, bro, there's water everywhere. The glass fell down the table, landing with a sharp clatter of glass on wood. Cove scooted back with a restrained shout. Be careful, don't step on the glass.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'll just, I'll get a towel or something.
He looked around in a frantic panic, as if an object to soak up the water would magically appear if he turned his head fast enough. His dad bit his lip in worry, rising from his own seat.
Well...
They were fumbling the bag! They're gonna know! Cove, what's going on? Blame it on you missing your mom. Please. That's when you want to be in a British pub. Every time you spill a drink, everyone goes, "Way!" Listen, I'm surprised they let the alcohol abuse slide. And by that I mean, you know, you're abusing the alcohol because you spilled it. Lol. Cove, what's going on? You've been a little out of it today.
Did something happen?
Listen, my mom just left. Like, I missed her, right? Cove tensed, frozen again. He stared at the water on the tabletop as if he wanted to sink into it. You spoke up to cover Cove. Listen, listen, I cannot let him spill the beans. He's gonna actually spill something. Not me, baby. I come up with stuff on the fly, bro. Listen, I'm not telling them right now. I'm gonna cover for him, bro.
If something did happen, you should wait for Cove to want to talk about it. Trying to make him say things in front of everybody wouldn't be good. Mr. Holden nodded slowly. He still seemed worried, but after another look at Cove, he smiled sympathetically.
Right.
Well said, Luna. I'm here when you're ready, son.
Of course.
Of course.
Cove breathed a sigh of relief and shot you an apologetic look. You shot him a covert thumbs up. Listen, I don't think they need to know yet, because then they're gonna, like, monitor our interactions, and I just can't. I don't want to deal with that. As everything got set up, Ma chided Elizabeth to take her elbows off the table.
Now,
You shouldn't slouch.
She pointed to Mr. Holden, who was leaning forward with both arms on the table. Oops. Mr. Holden seemed unsure about all the sudden attention and carefully rearranged his posture to something suitable for a fancy dinner. He smiled sheepishly at Ma. Like, why do I feel like they like each other? Bro. You guys can't be poly. I already said I was gonna marry Cove back when we were 8, okay? So, if that's the case, you can't do it. I won't allow it. If I went for a platonic route, maybe. And before you hide it for 3 to 4 years, only for your parents to have known the whole time and just never let you know they knew. Listen, you know, what they don't tell me won't hurt me. Ma is bi. That is correct. Elizabeth rolled her eyes, and Ma gave her a level look at her. See, like, why is this such? Sheesh. DMs. Okay. Ooh, okay. Purr. I'm gonna eye emoji to that. Did you know in the next game you can be poly? There's a next game? No, I didn't know. But I am excited for that. I'm intrigued. Elizabeth rolled her eyes, and Ma gave a level look at her. Fuck me.
You shouldn't be impolite to a guest in the house either.
Elizabeth groaned, long suffering. Ma giggled and Mr. Holden chuckled.
not bad.
A lot of you could learn a thing or two from Derek. He has the best manners here.
Derek blushed, but it was true. His posture was upright and formal. He even held his fork gracefully. His table manners, on top of all his attempts to aid your parents, made him the model of a meal attendee behavior.
Aw.
It's nothing. It's true, though. You have been a lovely guest.
I've noticed that too. It's always nice when you stay over, Derek. Derek smiled and sat a little taller in his chair.
And do you have anything good to say about our other guest?
She looked deliberately at Cove with a teasing smirk.
Or is there just nothing to say?
Well, Cove is my number one, but he does still clean his hands by wiping them on his pants. Cove frowned at that and absentmindedly brushed his hands on his pant legs. Your mom's laughed lightly.
There.
Elizabeth, you should know, after all these years, Cove is hardly a guest anymore.
Cove smiled awkwardly. He's like, damn, bro, you're just telling me I'm here too much.
Thanks.
Manners schmanners. Who cares? I don't think it's that big of a deal. You tease Cove for his bad habit. I'm trying to think. I literally don't remember the last time I ate at a table, so I don't know. Of course he's not a guest. He's a son-in-law. Exactly. Manners schmanners.
Don't think I'm not seeing your elbows where they shouldn't be, Luna.
Everyone ate their meal together and continued to hang out for the afternoon. After the food, you and the others played a couple of games and talked about plans for the upcoming year. The time passed by quickly, and soon it was time to part ways. Mr. Holden talked to your moms, and Cove drifted over to you, knowing that as soon as his dad finished up, he would be leaving. It'd be cool to stay, but we have some stuff to do before everything closes today.
Okay.
Yeah, bye. Could you move? I need the phone. Cove raised an eyebrow and Elizabeth impatiently gestured behind him. Cove realized he wasn't standing in front of where the receiver was placed. He sidestepped out of the way and shook his head, clearly thinking Elizabeth was rushing too much. Your sister made a beeline for the phone and started dialing the number of what you figured was one of her friends. Knowing Elizabeth, she was going to be on there for a while. You, Cove, and Derek shuffled closer to the door. It seemed like Mr. Holden was wrapping up his conversation, so everyone started saying their various farewells.
Talk to you later.
See you later, Cove. We gotta do this again sometime.
Yeah, see you. Cove turned to you and smiled slightly.
Bye, Luna.
You hugged Cove goodbye. You patted Cove on the back. You nudged Cove's shoulder. You ruffled Cove's hair. You waved. I normally hug him, so I don't think that's crazy for me to do in front of everybody. You stepped forward and spread your arms wide. Cove only had a moment to react before you encircled him in your arms. Cove hugged you back tightly, and his chest rumbled as he laughed. His cheeks were slightly red, especially when he looked over and noticed that Derek had watched the whole thing. Derek smiled amusedly.
Dude.
Seriously, dude? We'll have to hang out later. I'm gonna miss you during school.
He offered Cove a high five, and the two boys clapped their hands together. Cove and his dad left soon after that. Your parents started cleaning up the house, and Elizabeth was still chatting to her friends on the phone. It was just you and Derek left. He elected to stay. Bro, I remember those times. I was one of those people where I would, like, talk to my friend on the house phone for hours, bro. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's why I like doing really long Discord calls. Because it reminds me of those times, you know what I'm saying? Just me yapping to my friend about, like, some fucking drama in 6th grade. 5th grade, that shit. He elected to stay outside in front of the house to wait for his dad to pick him up. You decided to keep your guest company, although he was originally Cove's visitor. Yeah, like, why didn't they take him with them? I guess they had something to do, never mind. A light summer breeze blew through your hair, and Derek shifted his weight from foot to foot.
Thanks for waiting with me.
He kicked at the ground distractedly.
Well,
Dad's still gonna be a while, so do you want to go for a walk?
Sure, I don't mind. The two of you walked down the street again, just wandering without a destination planned. It was a quiet stroll, too quiet for Derek being the company. You turned to him when you noticed that he wasn't saying a word. That was unusual. He usually never shuts the fuck up. Derek always had something he could chat about. You weren't sure if you should ask about it. Somehow you ended up at the old park near the beach. You glanced over to Derek once more, still expecting him to say something any second now. However, nothing came from him. In fact, now you noticed a frown creeping on his face. Derek smiled when he realized you were watching. At least his mouth was turned up. There wasn't anything that really felt happy in the expression. He turned away and the smile fell off his face. His eyes stared intently at the ground and you raised an eyebrow. Is everything okay? If you want to talk about something, I'm here. Derek, what's going on? You kept quiet. I'll be like, is you good?
I'm a little sad. It's just, with school starting back up again, it's gonna be harder to visit. And I'm gonna have homework and clubs and practices and everything
this
else.
sucks.
It really sucks we go to different schools.
His face screwed up and his fists were closed tightly together. This was really concerning him.
What if we don't have time?
You channeled some optimism into the conversation. We'll make time. We can talk over the phone and have plans for the weekends. It'll be okay. Derek looked up at the sky. It was orange and purple with little wisps of clouds scattered around. A plane flew high with a jet stream trailing behind it. Then he turned to the ground again. Derek's face was tilted far enough down that it was harder to read his expression.
Hey, Luna, I actually wanted to talk to you about something, if you don't mind.
There was a pause, and you waited for him to finish his thought.
Sorry.
I was just kind of wondering, do you like guys at all? Like, would you ever want to be with someone who was a boy?
Dude, I'm desperately trying to date somebody who's a boy right now, and his name is Cove. Listen, I hope you're not asking if I like you, because unfortunately, I've already sold my soul and my heart back when I was 8 years old, so. For two separate reasons, obviously. This is an odd way for him to ask the question. True.
Sorry if that's weird to ask.
I can be with the guy, maybe. I don't know. He didn't answer him. Yeah.
Okay, then.
He hesitated before finishing his question.
So,
So, what I mean is, is there any guy you think is kind of cool that you like, around here? Not at school or anything like that.
He ducked his head further. You already knew the answer. You had confronted that very topic this afternoon. Well, I like Cove, and I tell everybody about it. Derek chuckled and didn't look at all surprised.
Yeah, I kind of thought so. That's cool.
What? Oh god, he is confessing to you. I don't think he is. He could be. He's confessing to somebody. He was hoping you didn't say Cove, so he would have been like, well, actually, I like Cove, and I'd be like, now let me stop you right there, sonny boy. I called dibs. You were late to the party, bro.
I really hope things work out. Thanks for answering my random questions that not at all hurt my feelings after you answered them.
He shot you a thumbs up.
I hope we'll always be friends, no matter what. Even if we don't see each other for a long time, or if we get really busy, I still hope...
He cut himself off and met your eyes. There was something serious to him. Sincerely worried that you'd fall out of friendship. See, genuinely, I'm the type of person that, like, even if we don't talk for a really long time, if, like, you just hit me up and start talking, like, I probably will act like nothing really happened. I'd be like, damn, bro, it's been a minute. How you doing? I'm not the type of person who, like, just because we stop talking, I don't know, I still consider us friends. Like, there's a lot of people that, like, I don't talk to anymore, but, like, we didn't have a falling out. We just, like, stopped talking. So, like, in my head, like, I consider us still, like, fine. Like, we're still friends, if, like, anything. And, like, if they reached out, like, I've had people reach out to me from the past, and I'm like, yo, bro, what is up? How are you? I don't mind it. Like, as long as we didn't, like, have beef or nothing, and had, like, that kind of falling out, I usually don't care if, like, you just stop talking to me. Unless it really hurt my feelings. But most of the time, yeah, I don't really care. I hope so, too. I want us to be friends forever. We're always gonna be friends. I'm gonna say we're always gonna be friends. Not best friends forever, because that's reserved, but... Derek smiled, mostly to himself. He seemed a little more like the usual.
Then, for sure, we have to make the most of next year, and the year after that, and the year after that.
He rambled on for a while about things.
We'll just make the most of every year.
Ooh, hiccuped.
Every year.
Right. He smiled and felt like your friendship was still strong. You didn't spend much longer at the park after that. Derek didn't want to miss his dad, so you both made your way back to your street. After Derek went back home, you decided to settle in for the night, stretching your arms over your head. You noticed that the living room and phone were free. Oh, dude, let me call my friend. My cousin. I haven't seen her since the beginning. You picked up the receiver and quickly punched in the familiar number, while going to take a seat on the couch. Soon enough, after explaining the situation to the housekeeper, Lee answered.
Hey!
Hey, girl! Hi, Lee. Can you talk?
Definitely. We practically have to. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I can't wait to tell her all the tea. I felt like he was trying to confess, but knew you already liked Cove. I'm assuming if we had Derek's DLC, I wonder if you could have confessed just then. Like if it would have added a dialogue option for that.
We practically have to. Oh my gosh. Can you believe it's almost time for school to start? What happened to our summer?
School starts first thing tomorrow for me.
Ew. Ew. And I thought starting next week was bad enough.
Enjoy your last week.
Oh, I will. I hope you'll survive your first day.
Me too. I need a good year.
Ditto. And at least summer was nice while it lasted, right? We were busy.
Yeah. Fondly, you thought about all the best memories you made this summer. Lee was there for some reason, but there were still many you hadn't filled her in on yet. You reminisced about a moment of your summer. Dude,
you began to speak about, ooh, which one should we talk about? Listen, I need to fill her in on everything, bro. Let's start with this Cove's dinner. I don't know if we can do just the one or if we do multiple of them, but I think this is like the big one. Like, she needs to know that I'm in with his family, you know what I'm saying? Oh, one night, Cove's parents invited me over for dinner at their house for the first time. Mr. Holden made Mexican food. I got to name one of Cove's pet fish. I told Cove about his dad offering to pay me to be his friend. It was just a really good night. It was a pretty terrible night. Yeah, I told him about that. Wait, did I tell her about that? Y'all, do you remember? Do you remember if I told her about the money? Or should I feel like we, like, she's my confidant. I tell her everything, bro. She's the sister, like, she's my cousin, but she's like the sister that I could tell anything to, you know what I'm saying? So I think you know, hypothetically, I'm setting up that I would have told her. I've already told her this. Like, I feel like I tell her about my crush. I tell her everything. That's the energy that we're giving, that I'm saying that we're giving legally. And everything I say is fact.
That sounds dramatic.
It really was.
It's a good thing you finally told him about it.
I'm glad it's not a secret anymore. I'm talking about all the moments. She needs to know about everything, bro. Oh my god. Mind you, we had a little shopping trip. And let me tell you about this. There was this day that Mom and Ma took me and Elizabeth on a big supply shopping trip.
What made that so memorable?
Lee chuckled, but you could hear the curiosity in her voice. I don't know. It just felt like a true summer day. I went surfing with Cove later.
Oh, that's super cool.
Wait, actually, is that the one I want? Listen, I need to phrase it how I want it. I stayed out late hanging out with Cove.
Ooh, what were you two up to?
It wasn't hard to imagine the teasing look Lee must have had on her face. Her imagination was already running far too wild. And nothing crazy happened. Girl, he taught me how to surf.
Boo.
But wait, bro, I'm not even there yet. Chill. We just got caught up with stuff. The day was over before we knew it.
Those are always good days.
Yeah. The road trip. I went on a vacation. Cove's parents ended up inviting my whole family on an RV road trip.
Really? Whoa, that's awesome.
It was a 3-day trip, and we visited the Redwood National Forest.
Lucky.
Dude, Cove was flirting with me. Girl, I was flirting with him. Bro, I gotta tell her. I know, I'm like literally out here in the living room spilling all my business. Like, damn, I hope my parents aren't listening. Dude, I hope nobody's on the other end of the line, bro. They picked up the second phone. But it seems like we only have one, so. Dude, Cove snuck up into that loft I was staying in!
What? Cove did wait, start at the beginning!
It took a while until you stopped laughing from Lee's reaction long enough to tell her every detail of the story. Bro, I gotta tell my cousin all the gossip! Period! She excitedly squealed more than once. Like, I have to have the one person I tell, because if I don't tell somebody, I'm gonna explode.
I can't believe you've been holding out on me with such a juicy story.
Nothing really happened.
Psh, keep telling yourself that. You have to keep me updated on what happens next.
It was hard to focus on what she was saying. Your face was probably red right now just thinking about what happened. And then the last one. You mean to speak about that incredibly hot afternoon. I remember the hottest day this summer. I could barely do anything and had to stay inside the entire afternoon. Dude, didn't Cove also come over then? Sorry, I read that as Cove was so hot. I was like, damn, bro. Bro's just going straight out the gate with it. Listen, I gotta tell her about this. He said I was cute when we were playing Hangman. We were playing Hangman, and that's what he picked for me to figure out. You heard her audibly gasp. But he is hot, though, true.
That's such a move. What did you do?
You filled her in as much as you were willing, and she gratefully took in all the details. I think that's all the moments that I had.
What was your big highlight of the summer, Lee?
Talking to you is always the best part of my summer.
Even though it was a phone call, you just knew that Lee was winking at you. You laughed.
Alright, so a high point for me was when I took that trip with my parents to Europe. That was amazing.
You and Lee continued to go over your adventures until you both were yawning to each other over the phone. Oh my god, I gotta tell her this, bro. I gotta tell somebody. Before you go, there's one other thing. I told Cove I had a crush on him today. Before you go, there's one other thing. I kissed Cove today. Which one should I do? The crush or that we kissed? Like, you think I'll say both, basically? Because, like, maybe this one is just, like, you just say you told her you had a crush, and this one's, like, crush and kiss. Oop, a kiss. We did! We rizzed. I'll do this one, then. There was a pause of silence. Knowing your cousin, you decided to pull your ear away from the phone. And as expected, a screech loud enough for you to still make out clearly from a distance crackled through the speaker. Oh my gosh. Also, I didn't even read, like, the actual thing. Before you go, there's one other thing. I kissed Cove today. Oh my god! Also, hello, Neko Priestess. How are you? I mean, she knows I like him, but, like, you know, I've never told her that I confessed yet. That's important. When you felt it was safe, you put the phone back against your head. Lee was still gushing to herself, though a little less loudly.
Why didn't you say so sooner? He had to have kissed you back, right? You two are the most perfect pair ever! Tell me, please!
You used the precious little time you had left to try to try filling her in as best you were capable of in that moment. But soon the approach of curfew became too much for you to ignore, despite how excited the both of you were. As you decided it was time to say goodbye for now, you did have school to wake up for in the morning. Bye, Lee.
Bye! Night, Luna. Talk to you later.
You left the phone on the side table for now. Looking at the clock on the wall, you saw that it was only about 10 minutes until your mom's would be insisted that you had to go to bed so you could be rested enough for school. You stretched your legs out on the couch and sighed in defeat, watching the minute hand change 1 minute closer to bedtime. You rearranged yourself, feeling restless. Looking out the window, startled initially, you spotted a figure out on the hills. It was Cove. When the surprise faded, you realized it wasn't really that much of a shock at all. It was exactly something Cove would do. I smacked the window to get his attention. I'm like, hey! I'm good. How are you, Queen? Yo, I'm slaying right now. Especially because I confessed to my Pookie and he reciprocated. So life is good for me right now in this game, especially. Sooner, girl, they just kissed it. I know, right? Like, literally it was this morning, and this is the first second I get to have some peace. But I get her, though. I get her. Lol, like, be for real, bestie. You're so up right now, actually. For real, no, I am. I'm gagged. I'm gooped and gagged. Okay, what should we do? We went outside to meet him. You ran off to go see him. You left him alone. You smacked the window to get his attention. You opened the window, call out for him. I think I'm just gonna go outside because if I call, my parents might hear. You went outside to meet up with him. Yeah. Hey, girl. Hey. How close are you to curfew? Like 9 minutes. Should I call him over? True. My parents are probably gonna get mad though. Better go fast. They're gonna, you know what? Whatever. If they yell at me, they yell at me, right? If I get in trouble, I get in trouble. Period. I'm running off to go see my man. I am on to see my husband. Sprinting, you reached the front door in record time. You didn't think you'd see Cove again that day. You had to go to him. When you arrived, you noticed how many fireflies were out that night. They drifted along lazily, barely minding your presence as you waded through to reach the top of the hill. Hey, Pooks. Cove turned towards you as you approached, and you noticed right away that Cove looked happy to see you. Hey, did you expect me to see your fucking ass out here and just come outside? That bet go fast is really funny. Yes, almost time for step 3, the premium experience. You had a bounce in your step. You weren't sure how long you could get before your mom's roped you back inside for bed. Hey, what are you doing out here?
Nothing.
Nothing. Not really.
He shrugged, seeming unhappy with his own answer. You stared at him, waiting for him to continue.
Well, I guess I was feeling kind of weird about stuff, so I'm getting some fresh air before bed.
Damn, bro. You really should go to sleep. I know how you feel. I feel good. I hope you feel better. You shrug back. Dude, I know how you feel, man. Things are changing these days.
It's hard to stay still. Tomorrow is gonna be the start of a new year.
At the mention of school, a small noise escaped him. Cove let himself fall back onto his butt and then all the way down, so he was laying on his back. He looked up at the sky. Listen, if my parents see me out the window, they should know not to mess with divine intervention, baby. Dude, I'm laying down too. You sat on his chest is crazy. It's crazy work. I would never do that. I would never do that. But that's crazy work. But what do y'all think? I'll let you pick. What should we do? I gotta shoot my sister a text message real quick. Okay, sorry. Lay down beside him. Okay, that's what I was gonna do. I was like, let's not be freaky, let's be normal. But I am gonna save because I do want to know what that would give me later because I think it's funny. You laid down yourself. You lowered yourself to lay back on the hill. He had been lost in thought or was possibly waiting for you to situate yourself, but he started speaking unprompted again.
Thanks for telling me about my dad and the money he offered you to be my friend.
Listen, if it makes you feel better, I think I might still have the $20. I can give it to you as compensation, even though I really want to keep it. It's $20. Listen, I would take $20 right now. Wait, did I read that? Okay, no, I didn't read that. My fault. This is probably the last thing you were expecting out of him. Cove seemed to pick up on that and stretch his arms out wide in front of him.
I mean...
This is where we met, remember? It happened that day.
You could recall the sad little boy with a pink cast who you found in this very spot. It felt like a lifetime ago.
I kind of have a strange feeling, looking at you. Not in a bad way, just thinking about you then and really seeing you now, it's something.
He turned his face away from you, and you got the impression he was trying to hide a blush. It was almost unbelievable how much of an impact he made on your life just by moving in next door. You couldn't even imagine what your days might have looked like in a world where you hadn't met him. Psh, bitchless. Cove glanced back at you, waiting for a response, and you had no idea what to say. Cove just stared at you unblinkingly. What?
It's you.
Huh? He snickered before answering. He looked thoroughly amused with your reaction.
That's what you do all the time, so I'm being you.
Wait, what? What's me? I missed it. Come in.
Hello.
Hello.
America.
I can't put the in Sean yet,
That's okay.
so you just
Thanks, man.
no problem, man.
Thanks, man. Dude, the Riz worked, bruh. I mean, we're not dating because we're too young. We're too young. Because he was like, wait, does this make me your boyfriend? And I was like, I don't think my mom will let me have a boyfriend. So I was just like, we like each other. And that's all that needs to matter right now. No maiden's life. No, I simply can't have it. That's a future I don't want to live in. He's just staring at me.
That's what you do all the time, so I'm being you.
I don't stare. I mean, kind of. True, we did kiss. I forgot to mention that. You do that all the time too. So do you, Cove. You were stunned he noticed enough to take note of it. I don't do that much. Dude, I do be staring though. Not being able to argue with assessment, you accept it. You felt bashful at this joke. So do you.
Really?
Yes, always. Cove couldn't help but grin at that. Honestly, there weren't many people you could think of who could tease you about something like that. Returning his smile, you realized there was no denying that you two have been around each other for a long time. Cove broke the quiet before it could fully settle.
See you tomorrow.
Hey, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you then. With a final wave, Cove headed for home, but you stayed there for a few minutes longer. Your mind kept going back to the simple statement, see you tomorrow. No matter how much was changing around you, there were some things in your life that always seemed to remain true. The hills felt warm to you that night. You could suffer through indifferent mode. Ugh, no, I don't want that. I don't want it. Before you knew it, you were getting comfortable under the covers in your room. Your mind couldn't help but still be buzzing with the thoughts about the future. It was hard not to think about Cove. There hadn't been enough time to really figure it all out after what happened between you. You felt excited. There was little doubt in your mind that things were moving forward, and you couldn't wait to find out what changes were waiting for you on the horizon. Slowly your eyes grew heavy as you drifted off to sleep, your mind spinning with wishful thoughts. No matter what happened next, you could only hope that you would make the most of it. You were ensnared in a dream when a noise from the outside world jostled you. You snapped your eyes open, noises happened, you tried to forget about it. Open my eyes. Because my eye would be like, Cove? And it's like a fucking robber. But listen, you should always be alert to noises in your house that sound unfamiliar. The light clatter continued. Now that you were more alert, you could distinguish it as a tapping sound. Quiet, slow, but persistent. Each beat was like being poked. You couldn't ignore it. You lifted your head from the pillow and looked for the source. Yeah, I'm not gonna get caught lacking. Not much work was needed to puzzle it out. It was from the window. With that, you knew exactly what it was. From the color of the light filtering into your room, it was too early for anyone to be awake, including the sun. It had barely hauled itself over the horizon, but that didn't stop some people, it seemed. You sat up in bed and opened the window wide. Cool air, not yet warmed by the day, tickled your face as it pushed into your room. And just as you expected, there was your neighbor crouching on your windowsill. He was fully dressed, though not for school. Dude, we're not having a morning surf, are we? Sheesh. He was wearing a wetsuit and a shy smile.
Luna.
What are you doing here, brother?
Hi, Luna.
You stared back, blinking.
So technically we won't be back to school for a few more hours?
His voice was delicate yet deliberate, each word a careful explanation.
Classes haven't actually started yet, so do you want to hit the beach with me one more time this summer?
Always! Cove, you're cute as fuck. Period. Now this is some Romeo and Juliet kind of shit. Waiting at your window? I know, but it's so... He's got Riz, dare I say. Cove, you're so cute. His smile widened affectionately. You rushed to get changed into something suitable while Cove climbed back down to ground level. Your limbs, still half asleep, struggled somewhat as you attempted to coordinate them into a swimsuit, but you got there in the end. Soon you were tiptoeing out of your front door, clutching a towel. Cove was already there to greet you. Your eyes met. Cove's gaze darted to your destination, and back to you. You checked the door was closed and gave him a thumbs up, and the two of you leapt into action. Wordlessly, you began to run down the familiar path ahead, Cove beside you. The thrill of your illicit outing made you want to laugh. Not that you dared. If anyone in your family looked out and saw you, then your summer would be back to being over. One glance at Cove told you he was thinking the exact same, holding back snickers for fear of being caught and heard. The towel streamed out from under your arm like a cape. You were running so fast downhill that simply keeping your balance and not tumbling down was a real threat. It just wasn't enough to make you, enough of one to make you slow your pace. For every step you took, the beach was a little closer and the day a little brighter. What lay ahead for you would arrive, and you were happy to meet it. Period!
In between. I'm not gonna lie, they put crack cocaine in the water. I'm stupid and I just like designed my character from the get-go, so she's not really gonna change. Listen, I wear glasses, but I didn't like any of these glasses on my character, so no glasses for her. We're going blind these days, baby. Yeah, I'm pretty much keeping everything the same. Ring, jewel, jewels, pattern, plain, none. Ring? Headscarf, none. Nail, I have long nails, so. Nail color, my nails are usually plain. If I do paint my nails, honestly, most of the time, they're black. Dude, I'm gonna be my emo self. And by emo self, I mean, like, when I'm not lazy, yeah, I usually do fuck with black nails, so. Nose ring, I do not have a nose ring, but that'd be cool. Oh, cute. I don't know if I would even look good with a nose ring, to be honest. And I'm like, what ring? I want to see them. I don't want to commit to one and it's ugly. I don't really like rings, to be fair, though. Okay, I'm done with mine, but it's kind of been done. I'm too lazy to like switch it up for like aging reasons, so I just look the same all the time. We're in love. We're full in love, baby. This ain't no crush. We're locked in, brother. Comfort. I'm still like relaxed. Like, we're chill. I mean, like, we're also direct, but like I feel like we're chill mostly. I'm ready. Relax, love. Like, that's what I want. Okay, I'm excited. Both. I want to do both, obviously. Hey, wow! Okay, we're cooking, guys. We're cooking. Hold on. No, we cannot. I love guys with long hair, okay? If he cut his hair, like, I'd be so distraught. I'd be like, no! I mean, you can't do it. Oh, smack the mic. I was so upset. I was like, no, you can't do this. No, please. I'm going with this hairstyle, I think, because I like him with this hair, but I liked it when it was more messy, like I had the last time. This is a bit too neat for me, so we're gonna go pony. We're going pony. And obviously, we need to have my glasses. But which ones? He had red glasses originally, and then we went black. I don't know. Because I like the black glasses more, but I don't know if I like how small these ones are. Ooh, earrings? Oh, I can't see. Wait, move your hair for a second. Hypothetically speaking, earrings 2. Earrings 2, baby, where are they? What do you mean earrings 2? I can't even see what you're talking about. Or is it these ones? Oh, okay, there we go. I was like, where is it? I guess we'll do this one because you can see that part of his ear. Okay, what are our shirt options here? We've got this one. I'm hoping... Okay, this one, absolutely not. What are you wearing? Which shirt do y'all like most? Shirt 1, 2, or 3? I don't know. Because, like, in theory, the tank top is nice, but I hate the colors of it. I don't know what I want. What pants do we have? Ooh, these pants are fire. I cannot lie. I think these are definitely the pants that I want. Yeah, it's tucked in. I'm not really... It's like... Here, what do we think about this? Here, we can finish up everything else. I feel like... Ooh. I kind of like this. Emo king for real. Okay, let's go this. I think this is what I want. I hate that we only have one necklace. Just the one?
I take it back. We could go 1. Okay. Do we like this? 2 and 3 were okay, but need to be tweaked. Yeah. How do we feel? How do we feel? This is his casual outfit, alright? This is his... He's cash. We got PJs. Okay. Well, when he's in his PJs, obviously the glasses come off, because who sleeps in their PJs? Okay, well, I like blue and purple more, so those ones. And I like the matching blue. I think that's cute. We're gonna go with this. I wish there was more hair. Because I'm like, you know, in theory, I would want to put the hair down, but I can't. Are you gonna see him sleeping a lot? We designed his last sleeping one, I believe, but I don't think we saw it like crazy amount. Oh my god, he gets to graduate from wearing a whatchamacallit, a wetsuit, to being naked. Okay, obviously glasses are off. Makes sense. Well, you guys know I love pink, so I'm gonna go with the pink. Like, don't be daft. Okay, wait a minute. Formal attire. Put your glasses back on. What are we doing? He's edgy, so I like this. I do like this. Okay. We gotta lock in. Is this what we like for all of our options? Not that, like, the other ones have crazy options. Hold on. Sorry, I had to answer a DM. Oh, I had to send a DM. Lol. Sorry. I think we're good. I think we're good for this. Wait, actually, go back. Why are your glasses back? Is it they're on or they're not on? That's a little annoying. It's a little annoying, innit? They just said people with glasses don't ever take their glasses off. Why would you think that? Simply, why would you think that? And you're like, you're right, my bad. Personality. Girl, I don't want him to be cold. Listen, I still like his mix of studious and sporty. But obviously, like, what? I don't want... Listen. I don't mind. Like, I liked how he was, like, with his personality. Kind of, like, a little bit more... You know, yeah, like, a little bit more cold and quiet. But, like, you know, I like where we're at now. You know, I want him to be nice to me. So... He's gonna be a nice guy. But he's gonna be a mix. Because, like, I'm not full into sporty guys. But I'm not full into nerds either. You know what I mean? You need to have duality. Alright. Since you're romantically interested in Cove and are old enough to start being physically affectionate more seriously, you can choose what initiative level he has throughout the step, okay? Making sure the player experiences what they want is important in our life, but always putting your choice first can potentially make a relationship feel one-sided. So we've added some flexibility in how it works out. Low initiative means that Cove will occasionally ask to touch the MC, and in those situations, there will always be an opportunity to say yes or no. For example, he won't simply lean over and kiss the MC as a greeting or in an emotional moment. Every piece of physical interaction will either be initiated or approved by the player before it happens. Middle initiative means there will be certain times when Cove requests to touch the MC, many chances to initiate affection on your own, and he also will pretty regularly give affection automatically. One example would be giving the MC a kiss because he's happy or emotional or something else. And in other situations, you can choose not to make the first move in order to give Cove the space to be the one to act afterwards. Overall, the love interest can get romantic, but the player's agency will take priority. High initiative includes everything middle does, but it also means that that player agency will be reduced to a degree in favor of having Cove give physical affection even more frequently and with less prompting. Instead of all the major affection-giving situations being led by a choice menu for you to decide on, some will instead be replaced by Cove acting automatically. This level is only recommended if you're very comfortable with physical affection and would prefer to simply see it happen rather than always holding the reins on it. However, this level is mostly relevant if Cove ends up as your official boyfriend at some point. Situations where high-level initiative makes a difference tend to come up in scenes that are exclusive to being in a relationship. The parts that are also included in the middle initiative will be seen whether you're dating or not. Once you pick your level, it can't be changed partway through a step. The choice only comes up at the very beginning of a story section. We hope you enjoy whatever initiative option you decide on. Hi, baby, let's go! I learned I learned he wears contacts when he's not wearing glasses. That makes sense. I figured that was the case because in like the official stuff he doesn't wear glasses, but I think he's cuter with glasses. I don't know. It's just how I feel. Damn, going full in. I expect you to go middle. Listen. I'm not gonna be gatekept, brother. I want it all. You know what I'm saying? Can I finally put my straw in my drink, or is it too frozen? No, I can put it in. Let's go. Let's go. Going full and I expect you to go middle. Maybe I should have asked you guys what you thought. Be like, what do you guys think? And I was just like, I don't know, man, go full in. The start of classes ended the relaxed free days of summer. It didn't take long for you to get back into the swing of the school year routine. Schedules and homework became the new normal. Derek wasn't around nearly as much. With school and after-school activities, there weren't many opportunities for him to take the trip out to your neighborhood. Sometimes you'd hear that he was... Oh my god, I'm having a stroke? Listen, yeah, it's basically the same. Listen, I don't mind that, though. I'm like, listen, sometimes I don't want you to... Just do it. I don't care. Cove has full perms, bro. literally just slash perms all. Sometimes you'd hear that he was at a training camp or something like that, but you weren't always sure what he was up to. But you still kept in touch over the phone as best you could. Listen, I'm still down to be friends with him, even though I'm not romantically interested at this point in time. The Jeremy kid disappeared after that summer, and no one had ever heard from him ever again. Where he went or what he might be up to was a mystery, thank God. We hate Jeremy in this house. Number one Jeremy hater right here. More summers came and went like the waves on the shore coming in and out. In your second year of high school, someone new started to visit Sunset Bird, a sunny girl named Terry Brooke. She was a friend Cove made due to them being both ocean obsessed. See, this is what I was telling y'all about. Cove is /mod. Listen, he's getting the full editor permissions on my Twitch. He can change whatever he wants, I don't mind. See, look, but this is what I was telling y'all about. I had to lay that groundwork in. So Terry Brooke doesn't think she can have my man. Like, this is why I had to lay that groundwork. Like, I like you. Don't even look at other girls. Guys, I promise I'm not like this in real life. If anything, I'm quite the opposite. I usually never tell people I like them. If I do, I die on that hill. Sometimes, like, I have confessed before, but I'm like, just because I'm like, bro, I don't want to think about this anymore. Can I just, like, get this out of my head? Terry was more than glad to befriend you, too. Listen, I'm totally glad to be friends with you. As long as she knows her place, like, I'm down. I don't view every single woman as competition, like some people. But I just need her to be honest. Like, if you like him, let me know, because I'm gonna have to beat your ass. I just simply am. SMH, we can fight her. We can take her. Terry was more than glad to befriend you, too. Someone close to Cove had to be good company, she felt. You were pleased to get along with her well. Okay, see, it's fine. It's totally fine. So... Terry was tight with another girl who you had known distantly from school for a long time. Miranda Eckert, I guess? Is she cool? Is she, like... She chill? You saw more and more of her as time went on, thanks to Terry and Miranda's own outreach. I think, where's the DLC where you can date Terry or Miranda? That would be funny. After a while, all of you developed a real friendship together. Okay, so we chill. Okay, they get it. They get it. Listen, maybe they can be my confidants. It doesn't have to be competition. You know, I just gotta make sure people realize, though. As for your home life, the cryptids also had developments. Changing laws and public perception countrywide made it possible for your moms to openly wear their wedding rings without questions. Aw, cute. Hold on, I'm having a sip of my wah-wah. Okay. Though they had a wedding years ago, it was only recently that the union was officially recognized everywhere in the US. That was a good day, to say the least. Elizabeth came into her own and stopped being quite as irritable. She'd no longer worried about being perceived childishness as she grew up for real. She didn't even mind being called Lizzie again, although most people used Liz. She eventually graduated high school and moved out to attend college in another state. No, my sister. It was a lot for you to adjust to your older sister being gone. Liz never let you forget her role in your life, though. And kept in touch. She better. Cove's relationship with his family improved over the years. Kyra visited several times after that summer, and things became easier between the two. He was also closer with his dad than ever before. You knew they talked more, and that helped prevent a lot of friction before it could start. Nah, I bet Miranda likes Terry, but Terry likes Cove, and she's jealous of you, and Cove is oblivious to all of this. The storytelling writes itself. And Cove only continued to open up. To his parents and to the rest of the world. Yo, Moon Kitty, thank you so much for the raid! Welcome in, you guys. Yo! Oh my goodness. Let me give you a shout out. How are you guys? I hope stream was super duper swag, bruh. There you go. We're playing Our Life. We just started stage 3 of life, aka adulthood. I think. I don't know if we're skipping past high school. I'm assuming we are. But yeah, we're trying to get our mans before somebody else steals him, maybe. But yeah, thank you again. I hope you all enjoy your time here, and your stream was good. And Cove only continued to open up. His parents and the rest of the world. He was so bright. He shone. Oh my god. Oh my god. What if I actually was tabbed back into the freaking game? That'd be crazy. He would willingly join conversations, make jokes, and put in an effort not to use overly blunt phrasing. It said you were second year high school. Yeah, so I'm assuming we're gonna go straight past high school and into college. Maybe even out of college. I don't know. We good? We were playing it as well? Oh, yes. I'm really liking this. Is my first time playing Our Life, and I'm really enjoying it. They put crack in this game, brother. They put crack in this game. We're more at the start of the game, so I'm gonna have to raid and run from the spoilers. So valid. Thank you so much for the raid, Moon Kitty. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Make sure to drink water, eat food. Thank you. And thanks to anybody else. If anybody else has to run and dash so they don't see spoilers, I appreciate you popping by regardless. You're the goats. He would really willingly join in conversations, make jokes, and put in an effort not to use overly blunt phrasing. Cove remained interested in everything across the spectrum. He loved to learn and stay inside, but he also loved to get outside and participate in more physical activities. He was multi-talented. He's just the goat like that. Matured affection. Start playing step 3 using crush or love interest level. Things had shifted between you and Cove, but in a way that most couldn't see. After all this time, he wasn't just your neighbor, he wasn't only your friend or even a guy you were interested in. You were in love with him. You loved Cove. You knew that fact for certain. There was no one else you held those feelings for. It was strange to look back at it all. The future faded into your present, and then it was simply the past. Even the most fundamental parts of your life couldn't last forever. You felt that the most pointedly the day you inevitably graduated high school. Okay, so we are skipping past high school. It was over and you would not be going back ever again. From now on, what came next was your choice. You would be directing your own life. That was where you were currently. The summer after school ended. Okay, so it's like recent though. The summer after school ended. The first summer of true freedom. What used to be a reprieve from the typical was now going to be your first step into adulthood. Oh, okay, so we have a different table. There's, instead of 8 seats, there's 6. I can't tell if the couch and stuff is different, but the table is definitely different. One fine summer morning, you took in what had become a very special scene. The whole family having a meal together. Oh my gosh! I guess we're calling her Liz now? She's slaying! I still miss her high pony, I'm not gonna lie. Her high pony was iconic. Must be why I had to give it to Cove. But she's slaying right now, like my fault, OG. Your big sister Liz still hadn't lived at home full time for a couple years, but she arrived last week to spend the season here since it was an off semester for her. She wanted to make sure she was in town because you had now also graduated high school, so who knew how much rarer these moments would become in the future. You watched on as Liz laughed good-naturedly over a comment Mom made. Her Elizabeth-only mindset had only been a phase. Nearly any nickname was welcomed at this point in her life. Strangely, even though she'd moved away, you'd lately felt closer to her than you had in a long time. You idly scooped up more of your breakfast and chewed absent-mindedly. You were a vegetarian, you were a vegan, you were a pescatarian, you were a polotarian, you were a picky eater. I was a fucking picky eater. The meal you had reflected that. Your moms were happy to make food that fit your needs, along with dishes for themselves that didn't. Though you often made your own food nowadays. But it wasn't only you who had a diet that excluded certain things, as Liz had been vegetarian for a while. Oh my god, my parents are old. I don't know why, the way she was holding herself, I was like, Mom, you're pregnant? Conversation had gone on idly. Oh, she doesn't dye her hair purple anymore. Without you fully taking in the words, until your ears were piqued when Ma started a bit of town gossip. You know I love some town gossip.
Uh-huh.
Yo, enjoy your lurk and your dinder. And so that's how I heard the news. All right. Stop burying the lead and tell us, what is this so-called news? Ma giggled as she cast a look across the table, satisfied that she had everyone's attention. Well, it turns out the Donalds won't be renting out the condo up the street as per Sunset Bird tradition, for the first time in what must be nearly 2 decades. A chorus of gasps, shocked expressions were, oh my god. Let me, guys, crack open the water. I'm having a stroke, I think. And it's definitely not the headache that I have. Definitely not. My dehydrated ass. Anyways. A chorus of gasps and shocked expressions were had all around. After the initial shock, your eyebrows pinched. Mom may consider them by name, but you and Liz had always viewed them exclusively as the mean old couple who would yell at anyone under 25 who crossed their paths. Your mom continued on with the story, spreading strawberry jam over a piece of toast as she did so. They've decided not to make any big trips anymore. Friends and family will be visiting them at their home. That's nice for them. That's nice for them then. Have a good summer. Me and grandparents with no grandkids away from us. That's a relief. It's kind of sad they can't travel anymore. I hope they're still okay, even if they're mean. My thoughts exactly. Be nice, kids. Hey, listen, we can either be nice or we can get along. You choose. You don't want to end up like them, do you? You and your sister cracked smiles at the joke.
Well?
At least they won't be here to yell at my children anymore.
Lonnie.
Lonnie? That blunt comment got laughter from all 3 of you. Engrossed in the conversation once more, you continued to chat with your family until the meal was over. Woo! step 3, third time's charm. Not gonna lie, from the moment I first saw her, Maul looked like she was posing as she was pregnant. Listen, I'm surprised we didn't end up, like, you know, having a third, in whatever way. Oh, bro, I would hate that, though. As the youngest sibling who has an older sister, I could not handle the thought of being a middle child. I'm sorry. No offense to the middle children out there. I just don't want to be like that. As it went, once the food was eaten, the cleanup had to be done. Liz took the role of washing dishes and passed them to you for drying and putting away. The probably way would have happened is if she cheated. Well, I was just thinking that they were gonna have a they were gonna have a donor, I mean. You had a set of cups in front of you that needed to go on the top shelf of the cabinet. Bitch, I'm still short. The task was pretty straightforward. You were tall. You were very tall. You had to stretch, but it was doable. It was a struggle to get them up without a stepping stool. You were short. See, I think I'm short, but I don't think I'm very short. Because to me, very short is like 4'11" and under. Me, I'm 5 foot, so... Surely that's just short, right? And not very short. What do you guys think? I don't know why the fuck I'm asking you people. Yeah, donor route. That's what I was thinking. Because I went with short last time, so I'm gonna go with short this time. Because like I said, very short to me is like 4'11" and under. I'm just regular short. I'm on the cusp. That was simply your lot in life. You'd always been vertically challenged. I like how you gauge the short measurement 1 inch below your height. Listen, I would have calculated the same even if I was like 5'1", or like if I was, you know, no matter what I was. I still, to me, the cutoff is like 4'11" and under. Like, once you get the 5 foot, like you're starting to enter average height territory. You know what I'm saying? Because isn't like 5'2" like the average height for females in America specifically? I swear that's true. It's either that or like, and like, isn't it for guys it's like 5 something? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Maybe it's higher for women. Maybe it's like 5'5". I don't know. That was simply your lot in life. You'd always been vertically challenged. You felt great about how things were. You hoped you still might grow more. You wish you had stopped growing earlier. That's crazy. You didn't think about it much. You didn't even know what to think about it. Honestly, I really don't think about... Well, yeah, like after 6th grade and I hit 5 foot, like I don't know, man. I don't really give a fuck. That was a struggle for you because you remember how you used to feel so content about it when you were younger. Liz shook you out of your internal musing by starting up an impromptu conversation. She seemed to be voicing the thoughts that had been buzzing all around in her head. I have to... Oh, I don't know what voice I want to give her now, because she was like the mean girl voice, but like she's not really like that right now. I thought it was 5'4". Yeah, it's either 5'4" or 5'3". I'll take your word for it. I have no clue. Hold on. Let me see. Should I look this up? No, it's fine.
I have to say, going back for another semester this fall is pretty intimidating. You'd think after the first year or two I'd have a handle on things, but no.
You stole a glance at her, still placing cups in the proper place.
I guess it's only fair. My first round was pretty general classes. In year 1 of my architecture major was the basics.
You want to go into architecture?
Now it feels serious. I have to actually know some things.
The laugh she gave was flippantly airy, but the way she scrubbed at the plates held more force than necessary. What should I say? I think it's really cool you want to be an architect.
Don't be too impressed yet. Wait to see if it actually happens, but thanks.
Your older sister's mouth quirked into a small smile.
It'll be fine, one way or another. Oh, but I'm not trying to scare you away from college, if that's even in your plan.
What is going on with that anyway, dude? I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. You had a solid plan set for a long time. You came to a firm conclusion recently. You kind of had a general idea. Yeah. You answered the question as much as you were able and willing to. Liz's smile grew more reassuring as you did.
Mm-hmm. You made it through 12 years of full-time education already. You've got plenty going for you.
Sometimes it felt hard to believe your public schooling experience was over. In the end, you graduated at the top of your class, you soared with high marks. I'm going with what I actually did. I got good grades in school. And you were gonna miss it. You felt satisfied leaving it off there, and you wish it could have gone better. And you were just glad of shooting. You know, I do kind of miss high school sometimes because, like, the worst thing you had to do was, like, what? Fucking study for a test, bro. Like, it literally could have been so much worse. Like, I would rather be going through high school right now than living in the real world. I'm gonna miss it a little. It had been a familiar and fulfilling part of your life. Liz picked up on the silence her question ended up creating. She decided it was time to make a closing statement on the topic.
You're a good girl.
You're a good girl, Luna. Do what's best for you, and we'll be here to back it up.
Thanks, Liz. See, she grew into herself. It's just like casual, you know. It's that stage in life, baby. It's that stage in life. Thanks, Liz. At that, Liz happily passed the final dish your way. She waved a soapy soaked hand as a farewell and moved on to her next task for the cleanup job. Y'all, I just hate the fact that, like, I was like, oh man, you know, it's funny that, like, Liz has changed her name each step. And then I was like, oh my god, it's like so, it's like Warrior Cats, you know? They have one name and then another and then a third one. I'm like, is this the final metamorphosis? Or what? At that, Liz happily passed the final dish your way. She waved a soapy, soaked hand as a farewell and moved on to her next task for the cleanup job. You refocused on getting the last pieces put back where they belonged. You eventually moved on to a new chore, but that was interrupted by the sound of your cell phone. It was the phone's default ringtone. You had used a silly novelty song as a ringtone. You'd set one of your most beloved songs as your ringtone. Your phone's just set to vibrate. My phone in real life is just set to vibrate, but, you know, if I could set it to something silly and whimsical, I would. You casually picked it up from the table where you had placed it earlier. The phone was a couple years old at this point, having been a 16th birthday gift from your friends. Or your friends? Your parents. They decided which model to get, but you got to pick the color. It was pink, obviously. Oh, I loved putting acrylic charms on my phone case. The only reason why I don't now is because I'm lazy. It had a special charm on it. But yeah, I want to get a phone case that has, like, an actual charm slot. Instead of, like, I just had to wrap, like, the string around, the, like, silent or not silent button. You know what I'm talking about? Switch on iPhones. It had a special charm attached to it, which was the crab keychain Cove bought you when you were a kid. Clawing at the fucking walls. I have to pick that because I'm sentimental like that, period. You were pleased when you finally had a prominent place to use the gift. The screen lit up as you gave the little device a swipe with one finger. You were informed by caller ID that it was Lee. You weren't surprised. Oh, what's up, Bessie? I'm excited to see what she looks like. Despite having busier and busier lives and not living in the same town, you still had a good relationship with your cousin of the same age. Especially once the miracle of the both of you having your own phones actually happened. She got hers first, though. Tapping the accept button, you answered the call. A familiar, bubbly voice came through right after.
Hi.
You look pretty much the same, just slightly older. Look at my crab keychain. Oh my god, bro. I forgot that No, I actually didn't forget, but I did forget at the same time. I guess, like, not forget, but it was in the back of my mind, so I hadn't been thinking about it. But this fucking crab charm. I need to screenshot this and send it to Pidgey. As is anything. I wish I saved, wait, let me go back real quick. I want to save here just because I want to see the other phone charms. Okay, yeah. Obviously the crab.
Hi.
Okay, save right here. Load this one. Yes, please. I want to see all the options.
Hi.
Okay, cute. Just a little lantern. Listen, nobody cares about this but me, but I want to know, so therefore, fuck you.
Hi.
Okay, yeah, that one's like, okay. Sorry, I'll mute the voices for right now, so it's just not hi, hi, over and over. Oh yeah, I just realized my phone is pink too. Sorry, I went too far back. Crystal. Okay, yeah, it's cute. It's cute or whatever. String of beads. I mean, yeah. I mean, not something I would have on my phone, but sure. Sure, man. Cat face. Oh, that one is cute. I probably would have did the kitty, I think. Oops. A music note. Yeah, if I didn't have the crab one, I probably would have did the kitty. And then the heart. Okay. I just wanted to see it. Yes, load this, please. And put the volume back up.
Hey, Luna.
I trust I'm not interrupting anything major. Oh, sorry, that's her.
I trust I'm not interrupting anything major.
Only cleaning around the house.
Oh, then you're welcome. You're welcome for my call. A distraction from that must have been desperately needed.
Yes, thank you, my dear cousin. Hey, I love doing chores, you joked. I like cleaning, you protested earnestly. It's good to hear from you. Yes, thank you, my dear cousin.
My pleasure.
It's my pleasure.
She giggled, and you could hear the jangling of the jewelry she must be wearing.
Nothing amazing is happening for me either. I'm bored and felt like chatting. My morning shift just ended, so I'm free for the rest of the day. Woo!
That's good. You were off from your part-time job today. You hadn't started working anywhere yet, so you couldn't really... Listen, I'm gonna be lore accurate to me. I'm gonna say I didn't have my first job until I was I second year? I think I was the second year in college. Unlike you, Lee had started dipping her toes into the workforce as of late. It made keeping in touch frequently even more complicated, but you both managed.
What about you?
It's been pretty normal.
Cool.
Cool, that's you then. So how's Mr. Cove Holden doing?
Also, he's taking my last name. I'm not taking his. Holden? You want me to be Luna Holden? No, he's gonna be Cove Cryptid, baby. It sounds better, dude. It gets the alliteration and everything. There was a teasing bent to her tone. She was never willing to let up on what was going on between the two of you. But that name was incredibly familiar to your ears. Cove, your next door neighbor for the past decade at this point. But he was far more than just someone who lived on the same street. You vividly remember the summer day you expressed feelings for each other as little 13-year-olds. You started officially dating years ago. You only got together officially recently. What are we thinking? I mean, listen, that's about to be my man, for real. We're like this. We're locked in. When do you think our parents would have let us start dating? Like, I can't in good conscience, like, make my MC wait. I couldn't do that to her. We officially started dating years ago. And you were in love with him, but that was the one thing you hadn't admitted yet. And you were in love with him, but didn't want to talk about that at this point in your life. I hadn't admitted it yet, but he probably already knows, to be fair. They trust him. I think so. I mean, they got me a phone, which means, like, surely, whenever they got me a phone, surely they would allow me to date a boy, right? Like, if you're gonna give me a phone that has, like, access to the internet, truly, surely, it might be okay then to date a boy.
Are you even surviving without the boy being 10 feet away at all times?
Lee, you don't need to drag me like this. She's right. She's right. No, I'm not, but, like, you don't need to say it.
Or is everything right with the world again, and he's back?
No, Lee, he isn't here. Just like he wasn't here yesterday, or the last time you asked, or the time before that.
Sorry.
Aw, my bad. Can you blame me? Doesn't it seem like he should have made his grand return already? Plus, I want to visit soon, and he needs to be there too.
You could understand where she was coming from. This was certainly outside the norm. For the past couple months, and the last few weeks especially, Cove had been going to his mom's place in Nevada. The two of you still regularly stayed in contact over text and calls, but still, your mind began to drift back in time to all the prior trips he'd taken to visit her. Almost every year he'd have to go away for a while and then he'd be back. It made you sad and lonely when it happened. You never minded it. It was kind of nice to have breaks away from each other. You weren't a fan, but made do. It was shitty. It upset you. You're yourself worried about him leaving for good. I don't know. I wasn't a fan, but I made do. But I'm like, where's my Pookie? It's either this one or this one. Country girls make do. Listen, I don't want, I could still function without him. I wasn't a fan, but I made do. That's what I'm gonna say. You sent him letters the entire time he was away. Okay, fucking Alexander Hamilton headass. Your moms helped you ship out care packages to him and his mom. You gave him special treasures to take with him before he left. You kept an eye on his house for him while he wasn't there. You weren't capable of doing anything until he was back. That's crazy. Oh, I'm thinking either letters or care packages. I'm gonna send letters. I think it's low-key romantic. Like, you wrote me a letter? Oh my god! You know. Cove made sure to mail some back to you too. That's how it was in the past, but lately he had been trying to see her as much as he could before taking long trips to another state became too impractical to do. His part-time work could become full-time soon, or he could be moving somewhere else for school. Cove hadn't actually been entirely clear what his plans were after graduation. Cove was hesitant to speak on that, even with you. It couldn't be avoided forever, though. You both knew that.
Well,
Maybe we could switch this up to a non-Cove related topic?
Sounds like a plan. The rest of the conversation rolled on. Not much longer, though. Lee had to go, and you needed to finish your responsibilities around the house. Oops, did I skip something? Or is that just it going away? Okay, no. It was good. The both of you exchanged goodbyes, and then you went back to what you'd been working on before the call came in. Oh, hey girl. Now you get your hat on. As you wrapped up the last of your chores, you were approached by Liz wearing a cheeky smile.
I've got Mom's keys. Want to go on this want to get out of this tiny town and do some shopping in a real city? Sorry, I'm having a stroke.
That sounds great.
good.
Good, I'm driving.
That was obvious. You didn't know how to drive.
Go get your wallet and anything else. We're going now.
With a nod, you made a quick detour to collect your stuff from your bedroom. You had money saved up from gifts you'd received. After making sure you both were fully prepared for the long haul to the largest city in the surrounding area, you buckled into the car. It was a smooth ride there, with a light conversation about what shops to stop at and the radio blasting. Liz controlled what was played, but she made sure to pick songs she knew you'd like. It was something the two of you had always done for each other. The trip there breezed by, and in what felt like no time, you had gone from cruising down the road to cruising through the mall. Liz had her interests to check out, and you yours. Your hobbies and skills were still the ones you developed when you were younger. You'd gotten into new things. No, they're still the same. When turning a corner down a new length of the mall, your eyes caught on a little gift store. Your friends and family had recently given you many presents for graduating high school. You realized you wanted to get a graduation gift yourself to give to Cove. You had a gift of your own ready to give to Cove when the chance came. You really appreciated what you had gotten. I probably would get one right now. Graduation may have already come and gone, but Cove wasn't really around then anyway. You'd keep an eye out for something good, though you might have something nice for him at home already. Eventually, the mall was explored in full, and every shop of note being checked over. Rather than going home, you decided to walk over to some smaller stores nearby. Liz had many thoughts on that topic.
So?
Honestly, malls are not a bastion of society. Even if smaller stores requires extra distance, the brands are so much more. Then your sister abruptly stopped speaking and walking right in the middle of the path. It was a good thing no one was behind her. She seemed to entirely shut off for the moment. Liz? The attempt to catch her attention was unsuccessful, and something else had all of her focus. Before you could puzzle out what might be happening, she began to mumble out of the corner of her mouth. Luna, don't draw attention, but look. What? With a harsh whisper and a subtle jerk of her head, she urged you once more.
Hey.
Look. You followed her gaze as best you could to a large bunch of colorful teens strolling down the same path, okay? You faced back over to your sister with a confused expression and an unspoken question. What were you supposed to be seeing there? Luna, doesn't one of them seem familiar? She was practically bouncing at this point, so you looked at the group over again, and this time you saw what she was seeing. Ain't no way! He looks like a Newsies boy! Oh, Shiloh, you think I've forgotten my beef with you? I guarantee you I haven't. Amongst the collection of strangers was brown hair, gray eyes, and lots of freckles. That's Shiloh! Our Shiloh from when we were kids! Girl, don't say our Shiloh. That was your Shiloh. Yep, that was definitely him. He's gotten cuter. I felt like he was a cute kid, but like he's cute now. I can't believe it! He's honestly just there. That's hilarious. That's incredible. Oh, but how do we talk to him? We'd have to pull him away from all those other people, and what if I'm wrong? Your mouth opened to reply, but she cut it off with her own answer to the question. I've got it. I'll shout the name Shiloh, and then we can act like it wasn't us. If he responds to that, we'll know without a doubt it's him. Luna, keep an eye out and see if he looks. Alright, fine, let's try it. Likely without even hearing what you said, Liz put her plan into action. Shiloh! She loudly projected the word across the way, and then put on an act of casualness, turning her head away from the scene while brushing at the skirt of her dress. It was a supremely awkward moment, and you could only stand there as attention in the area shifted to the two of you thanks to your sister's shout. He is from one of their older games. Oh, Shiloh is? That's 100% the solution I'd come up with. I feel seen. You might just be Liz. Yup. Listen, me and Shiloh have beef, okay? I tried to help him one time, and because I wasn't Liz, he didn't accept my hand, and I've never recovered from that crushing blow. Like, you know what? And when that wave nearly drowned him, dare I say he deserved it for disrespecting me. Yeah, sorry. He's like, what? But the many startled bystanders who became alerted to your presence, one of them was the boy. From a distance, his large eyes met yours. He looked. A wide grin took over Liz's face, and she pushed the rim of her sun hat up and away from her face while swishing back around to greet her old friend directly. Shiloh! Waving, she stepped a bit closer to express her intention to meet, without really closing the gap. She wanted him to come to her. Who you presumed to be Shiloh looked surprised at the call-out. He stole a quick glance at the crowd he was with, and hesitantly glanced back your way. He was trying to double-check something. Liz remained steadfast with her gaze trained on him, and ultimately he broke away from the rest of them. After a light-footed jog across the brick path, the young man pleasantly presented himself in front of Liz and you.
Hi.
Hi, I like your hat. Has Shiloh? Question mark? Wait, you hate him because he likes Liz more than you? No, not because he likes Liz more than me. That's totally fine. But it's the fact that he literally ate shit and I gave him my hand to help him. And he told me basically without words to go fuck myself. And then as soon as Liz
offered her hand, he was like, yup, let me get up. Listen, I understand if he liked her and wanted her to help him, but like, don't piss me off. I offered my hand. You're gonna be an asshole when I'm trying to help you. So it had nothing to do with Liz. It literally could have been Cove too, and I still would have been mad at him. Just that simple greeting had Liz giggling.
Hello. I'm not sure if you remember this, but I'm Lizzie and that's Luna. We were all friends when we were little kids.
His already wide eyes grew even larger. How did we recognize him but bro didn't recognize us? Their gaze darting between you and Liz. His previously chipper demeanor faded into something delicate.
I'm really sorry, but I think you have the wrong person.
You could tell not being instantly recognized was going to make this exchange more of a challenge. Still, Liz was undeterred.
It was a long time ago. You were really young. I get why you feel like that. However, I'm positive I'm right. You're exactly the same. That face, the freckles, how genially you try to phrase things. You're even still wearing a hat.
Instinctively, he looked up at his headwear and creased his brows, not making the connection on why the hat meant something to her.
Okay.
We knew each other, okay?
Sorry, she said that a little bit more.
We knew each other, okay?
An uneasy smile settled on him as a silence followed Liz's speech. He was picking his next words carefully. Then the quiet was obliterated by a new voice bursting into the conversation. Shiloh, what are you doing? The rest of the group already left. A field trip is not a vacation. We are on a schedule. Startled, your head snapped toward the path. A distinctly unhappy individual with piercing magenta eyes, dark brown skin, and a sharp jaw stormed your way. He carried a cloud of authority with him, despite looking like he wasn't even 18 yet. Sorry, I didn't mean to ditch. Shiloh, whose name was now officially confirmed, gestured with a hand to add the explanation of his absence as the stranger watched him patiently. They thought they recognized me as someone they knew, but it was a tiny misunderstanding. Liz theoretically as well as literally put her foot down at that, stomping in frustration and getting more childish the longer she was around her childhood companion.
Come on.
We do know you.
Shiloh merely shrunk in on himself. The tone he spoke with was pained.
Sorry.
You honestly couldn't tell if he was apologizing for upsetting the feelings of your sister, or the palpable dissatisfaction of his new acquaintance. That in itself was very Shiloh-like. Oh, you know him? Is that it? The stranger spoke in a dismissively scoffing tone, as if the words sounded so absurd to him it was almost amusing. Almost. But the sternness of his demeanor quickly reinstated itself. Well, do you know me? I'll tell you. I'm someone who has been forced against his will to be aware of what's going on in Shiloh's ridiculous personal life for a year. If the two of you had any importance in his general day-to-day existence, it would have come up by now. Don't bother to try to exaggerate any trivial connection you might have. It's not good enough. He's with us and you'll survive without him. Now stop loitering in the road. It's rude.
Excuse me?
Liz, let's beat this bitch up.
Excuse me? We're the rude ones?
The high-strung ranting got an audible gasp from Shiloh, who finally started to speak up again in defense.
Nate, that's really mean.
It's also true. We're leaving. With that declaration, the unofficially introduced Nate indignantly spun on his heels and walked speedily towards where the group went, completely confident that Shiloh would follow behind.
Oh, people can sure have bad attitudes, huh? Why can't they just try to get along? It's not hard. Don't worry, though. I bet you won't have to deal with him again. And I'm sorry I can't stay to talk to you, but I hope you have a really nice life.
Bye.
Bye.
And that was it. His final parting words given. Shiloh left the two of you behind to catch up with his own life that he had to go live. Liz watched his exit, stunned, only to frown when it hit her that he was really gone as quickly as he appeared. It happened so fast you hadn't even been able to get a word in. She sighed, all the energy she built up releasing with the breath.
I could have told him his last name was Fields and his birthday is October 30th. That would have proved it, but no.
Wow, Shiloh grew up to be dumb. I'm sorry, Liz.
You felt so bad for your big sister. He had been such a close friend in her early years, and their reunion was completely ruined. Do you want to go catch up with him? Liz merely shook her head, pushing off her childish thoughts. I think we can leave it there, thanks. Oops, I just fucking didn't read the rest of that. I think we can leave it there, thanks. He's in the middle of a high school field trip, and it was already enough being able to see him. There's something reassuring about witnessing firsthand that he's still out there, enjoying his own part of the world. Though, if given the chance, I could definitely have a few words with him about the company he's got. She laughed, but you could tell there wasn't much humor to go with it. She was mad at that guy, even if she was happy to let Shiloh go. Maybe they're only with each other because of the trip, and it's not usually how things are?
Right?
True. We can only hope the same for him as he did for us. Have a nice life, Shiloh. Hey man, good luck out there. You'll need it. Bro, I literally just got snubbed. You should play the older game where you could date him. I might have to peep. Liz smiled at you. It had the self-confidence you knew so well from her. Come on, little baby sister. Let's finish our own trip. Yeah. No matter how either of you felt about the occurrence, it was something you simply had to accept. People you know just disappear and reappear in the most unexpected ways. The two of you enjoyed what remained of your outing until it was time to return home. By the time you arrived back, the sun was already beginning to set. You arched your back as you stretched your arms towards the ceiling. While it had been a good day, it had enough activity to cover an entire week. Liz tried to hide a yawn behind her hands. You weren't the only one feeling worn out. I'll be heading up to your room, I mean the guest room, since mine stopped being available as soon as I was out the door. Her tone was light. She'd had quite a lot to say on the subject when you'd first taken over her bigger room after she left for college, but there haven't... oh my god, I'm having a stroke again. But there have been many trips back home for her since then. The room hasn't been hers for years. It was more of a running joke now that she had continued to bring the topic up to this day. Let it go, Liz. I didn't see your name on it. Thank you, Liz. It's a really nice room. Thanks for being so gracious and giving it up. I just wanted to follow my big sister's shoes. I'm sorry. I just wanted to follow my big sister's shoes. Flattery as a compliment can only go so far, Luna. A small laugh was shared between you and your older sister. You better believe you'll be getting back in the guest room when you've got your own place and we're both in town for a visit. We can take turns. You'll have Thanksgiving, I'll get Christmas. What a reasonable and mature suggestion. I'll think about accepting it. She flashed her familiar grin and you couldn't help but feel glad she was back around, even if it was temporary. With that, she plodded off to the spare room. You were ready to do the same. Moving into a new space was your first opportunity to decorate from scratch. Tell me we don't get to decorate the room. I'll cry. Oh my god! Wait, this game might just be goated as fuck. I want the pink one, but like I don't like this. I think it's kind of... I'm gonna have to go with this one because it's the only one that's got this. Like, look, this is my gaming computer over here. Like, I would have went with this, but like, there's no computer in here. This one has no computer in here. This one's got a laptop, bro. I need my gamer computer though, and this has all the books. I'll take this one, sure. Extras, window, left, right. Oh. I don't know who these guys are, but I like them. I'm gonna have books here. Walls, left. Ooh, shark. I'd probably have a bulletin board, I guess. I like this goofy odd picture of this seal. I think it's funny. Ooh, space poster. Hell yes, brother. Oh, lights? Yes, I like that. Okay, I guess we're doing the lights. And then... I kind of like this. I think this is cute. Floor? Oh, no, we do not sport in this house. And we do not instrument either. I'm gonna have the telescope. I wish, we get no extras. I wonder if that's DLC. But yeah, this is gonna be my room. You were really satisfied with the feel of your tiny part of the world. As your thoughts drifted, you tried to bite down another yawn. It was no good. Your bed was now lodged in your mind, and all you could think about was collapsing on it. You trudged up the stairs to your room. Stepping inside, you closed the door behind you, blocking the rest of the house, not just the world, sorry. When you turned back around, you realized you were not alone in there. Comfortably perched on the windowsill was someone very familiar to you. Pookie? Oh, shit! You're home! Cove Holden. How are you here? Surprise? His tone was easy and relaxed. It certainly was a surprise to you. You hadn't expected him to be within the state. Never mind your own house. Look at that face. That smug... I know. He that smug all grin. He knew that my ass was not expecting this. I was like, la, go to my room. Dang, now I'm gonna have a hard time picking what I want to choose for the thumbnail for this VOD. He hadn't answered how he had suddenly just appeared back in Sunset Bird, though to be fair, you had been so astounded that there hadn't been much of an opportunity for him to chat with you. Thankfully, Cove was only waiting for a good moment to start and began to explain.
So...
I got in about 15 minutes ago. No one was home, so I figured I'd come in the usual way. Bro ran up my windows. The fuck? The window. A small smile had formed on his face. You were still staring at him, unable to blink in case he disappeared. You could barely believe that he was really there, mere feet away from you. I left my bags in your backyard. Hope that's alright. That was when you truly understood. Cove had come straight to you upon getting back to town. You were his first port of call, taking precedence over everything else. Eepee! Even though you hadn't been in when he called, Cove had ensured that he'd see you at the earliest opportunity, rather than allowing his plans to change. You laughed. The realization made you bashful. You shook your head at his antics. You stayed frozen, the shock yet to melt away. You walk over to join him. You ran to Cove. Do we be cash or not cash? I think I wanna finish this scene or get close to this scene, and then I think I might end it for today, but not cash. We are not cash. We're super excited. Every second away from him was a moment too long. As you approached, Cove quickly hopped from the windowsill to meet you. You're too crazy. I'm so glad you're here. I missed you. Trouble's back in town. I can't believe my eyes. This is the most amazing man in the world. You didn't need to say anything. Dang, bro. It's my Pookie Wookie bear. Listen, you know, gotta let him know that, like, I missed him. I'm gonna go extra. Fuck it, we ball. You ruffle. We kiss. Kiss. I'm having a little kiss in the closet. Cove then ducked his head as if trying to dodge your overwhelming compliment. The whole world is a little much, Luna. I don't think it is. He lowered his voice. Then if I'm the most amazing man, then you have to be the most amazing person in the world, period. You felt your face burn with color. Thankfully, Cove didn't press the point. He instinctively began to close his eyes as your face leaned closer to his. Kiss. The lips, the fuck? You just got back and you think I'm gonna kiss you anywhere else? Excuse me? Mwah. He met you partway and the two of you shared a gentle greeting kiss. You then stepped back a bit. Cove rubbed the side of his head, fervidly glancing down. Though he couldn't help but get a little nervous still, he was beaming. I missed you. Even if he hadn't said it outright, you would have gotten the message from his body language. Cove was grinning wildly. His
his raised cheeks bearing his eyes, which gleamed like hidden gems. But he looked at you as if you were the most exciting treasure of all. How was the trip? Cove's brow creased as he considered your question. He leaned in and kissed you again. After a long moment, he broke the kiss and tilted his face back just enough to speak, but not so much that your forehead stopped touching. I hated it. Let's never be apart again, okay? Period. Sold. You don't have to convince me. He said that absolutely as a joke, an exaggeration, something that wasn't a real request, of course, and yet, despite all that, it felt real. Your heart hammered in your chest. Your head swam, cast adrift on a tide of thought and adrenaline. Cove smiled as if offering a silent apology for his sudden onslaught of tenderness, but he let the words proudly hang in the air all the same. Cove told you about how his trip back had gone. Soon you'd even recovered enough to actually listen. His mom was doing really well. She had a project in the works that she was thrilled about. As a result, Cove was going to be sticking around in Sunset Bird for the time being. Things were settled as much as they could ever be. With Cove back once more, you felt at ease. Cove stretched his arms over his head, his eyes on the window and the world beyond. The sun had set while you were busy reuniting.
Well,
I should probably get my stuff and see Dad. He glanced over at you with a familiar, expectant look. Want to come with me? Of course. You know I do.
cool.
Cove began to head to your bedroom door. You followed after him. You insisted on a piggyback ride. No, bro's probably tired. I'm gonna follow him. Right? Or do we bring back the piggyback ride? I'm not sure. I think I'll wait. We'll get to the street. We'll get across the street, and then I'll save. No, I'm not gonna make him piggyback ride me down the stairs. We're gonna die. I'll follow after him, cash. The two of you casually went down. Yes, he casually went down to the ground floor of your house. Exactly. I was like, bro's probably tired, emotionally and physically. Like, I can't do my pookie like that. In all the excitement of Cove's return, you hadn't even remembered the gift you'd prepared for when he got back. It would be best to give it to him now before he left your house. Can you wait here for a little while? I got something for you. Cove tilted his head, intrigued.
Really?
Really? You nodded with some eagerness, trying to imagine how he'd react when he actually saw it. You bought Cove something special. The gift you'd chosen hadn't been something you could buy. Interesting. I mean, likely in real life, what would I do? I'd probably have made something. Bro, he's so lucky. He's so lucky this isn't actually me, because the amount of, like, things I probably would have crocheted and, like, knitted. I'd be like, this is for you. It's like another plushie that I didn't need. Gee, thanks. The gift you'd chosen hadn't been something you could buy. I wonder if that's, like, a craft thing. I'll see. It was the orange shell he'd been entranced with since you were kids. A white poppy from the hill behind your house. The $20 bill. These are all good options. No, it's not risque. It's sentimental. I'm thinking either the shell, because we tried to give it to him before. If you guys weren't there or you don't remember, we tried to give him the shell before, and he was like, no, I can't have it. But then the $20 bill could also be cute. But, like, also, I think the shell is cuter. I think I'm gonna go shell. You quickly went up to your room to collect the shell, knowing exactly where to find it. It had been housed in the exact same box since you were a little kid, after all. Taking great care, you extracted it from the case. Though it had been a long time since you'd taken it out, the grooves were still as familiar to your fingertips as the opening line of your favorite song was to your ears. I like the idea of keeping the bill until the two of you get married. Oh my god, wait, that is cute. Cove had admired this shell ever since he first saw it, declaring it to be the best of all your treasures. Despite that, he'd never accepted your offers to take it. You hoped that might change tonight. You closed your hand around the shell. Listen, if he doesn't take it, I'm going back. You guys can't stop me. Not wanting Cove to see it until you were ready, you headed downstairs. When you were back in front of Cove, you cautiously tilted your arm up. He looked on curiously as you unfurled your fingers to show him the gift. I know you don't want to take it from me, but what I want is for you to have it. Cove stared down at the familiar shell nestled in your palm. His mouth parted, though no words came out. He drew his eyes up to meet yours, silently, and found the answer to whatever question he couldn't speak. He put his hand over yours and broke the silence. Okay. It was as quiet as a whisper. His fingers were as gentle as his words, brushing against your palm as he took the shell from your grasp. He cradled it carefully against his chest and smiled at you, his eyes bright. I'll keep it forever. Cove reverentially laid the gift safely on the counter, but didn't turn back to face you once he had ensured it was secure. Though his face was angled away from you, you caught his eyelashes fluttering as he batted away tears. His throat bobbed as he swallowed bubbling emotions. You knew that Cove could be sentimental. The gift, and all the memories and the feelings tied up in it, seemed to have taken a toll on him. When he began to sniffle, you felt the need to reach out. Cove?
Luna.
I can't. Luna, I don't know what to do. He forcibly scrubbed at his eyes, like he was trying to push the tears that threatened to spill back in. It's okay. Oh, Cove, it's okay. Do you need to cry? Like, give it to him when you say your vows, bro. Somebody, I need to get that wedding DLC stat. Oh, God. No. Nevertheless, tears had begun to spill down his cheeks. Even as he wiped them away, more took their place. Thank you. His voice quavered as he spoke. Cove reached out, and you gladly stepped forward to meet him. He laid his warm hands against your cheeks and brought his lips to you. You kissed Cove until the need for air finally won out. Head spinning, you were glad of the security of Cove's hands. Even after your lips had parted, Cove remained close, his hands still framing your face. You're welcome, don't worry about it. You're such a crybaby. Oh my gosh. You didn't need words as you quietly accepted his appreciation. You're welcome. Cove let out a steady breath. It was far removed from the shaky gasps that had accompanied his sniffles. The tears had dried. His eyes were a little red, but open and at peace once again. He smiled, fully recovered from the emotion that had overcome him. You're really seriously too nice to me. You smiled back. I don't think there's such a thing as too nice when it comes to you. Cove brushed his hand against the pale ghost of a scar on his arm. He was at a loss for what to do now. The clock ticked away, counting the seconds of silence. Once you had a chance to settle your thoughts, you figured you'd tell Cove the intriguing news. Oh, I meant to tell you earlier. I saw Shiloh today.
Huh?
Shiloh? Cove repeated the name, his expression blank. Damn, y'all. Is it a man thing? From when we were kids? Cove pondered for a moment, then snapped his fingers.
Oh, he was that freckly boy from the first summer, right? The one who moved?
I met a guy named Shiloh. He looked just like Shiloh we knew, plus however many years. But he didn't remember me and just left. Cove frowned.
That's, I don't know. Too bad I missed it. Though you knew him better than I did.
That was definitely true. Not only had Cove known Shiloh for a shorter period of time, but he and Shiloh had never quite gotten along. Not that they were enemies either, just kids who were only ever together because of other people they knew.
I wonder what Shiloh's up to these days.
I don't have any idea. He didn't say much.
Oh well.
That was everything you had on that news item, so you moved on to the next big update. Also, you know the mean old neighbors? The ones who always yell at us? He cringed, recalling those particular memories of back in the day was not pleasant even for someone as nostalgic as him.
Yeah?
They're not coming. They didn't rent the condo this summer. Cove's jaw dropped. You didn't blame him. The elderly couple had been an institution for as far back as you could remember, long predating Cove's arrival. Even now, as a teenager, he found your neck pricking as you walked by their condo, half expecting a scolding for breathing the wrong way in the vicinity of their vacation home. It was strange to think of that coming to an end. Wow. Cove blinked, clearly struggling with the idea in the same way you had.
I didn't see that coming. People being gone, people coming back. It feels like I've missed a lot. This has been a busy summer already.
Well, you haven't missed the fireflies. They haven't shown up yet.
Well, that's something. And we better not get left behind. There's still stuff to do.
You nodded. The two of you headed out and traced the most familiar path you'd ever walked. The trip across the road to Cove's house. And that's where we're going to be saving things for today. We have made some good progress. We have officially rizzed up Cove. We're officially together, but we have not told him that we're in love yet. So that's going to be coming up, I'm assuming. I'm excited to see where step 3 takes us. And, you know, like I keep saying, they put crack in this fucking game. I can't stop playing it. I can't stop winning. We're officially official. Also, is it just... Okay. Anyways.
Rada.
Yo, Icarus, thank you so much for the subscription. Yeah, I did. I recently changed that, like, beginning of this week, my new sub sound. Okay. Yeah. Bro, I literally had to edit because, sorry, this is a side tangent really quick. When the beginning part is, like, the first thing Mark says. And then I had to cut out a little bit, realign the OKs, because I wanted the OKs in there, but there was, like, stuff in between Mark's line and the OKs, so I had to cut out the shit in between and make it line up. And, you know, I did what I had to do. Neo got my back for real. Does Cove have a dumpy in the CG? You know, he just might, bro. Adulthood brings a lot of things, like gaining a dumpy. Dump truck ass. Real. So you're a producer, basically, bro. Let me get in the studio and mix up a beat for that for real. Yo, let me see who's live that we can raid. And let me get the lo-fi beats for you guys. But yeah, I'm really excited about playing more of this game. We love Cove in this house. He's literally Pookie. I'm gonna ooh. Let me go back. Actually, no, VOD's been streaming for 3 hours. I don't know how much longer he's gonna be streaming. But I'm gonna set him up with y'all anyways. You guys, stick around for the raid. Show some love to Bod. He's streaming something that isn't Minecraft for once. Encourage him to do that. I'll probably be popping over and playing some Marvel after he finishes this round. But I also have to pee really bad, so there's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next stream will be tomorrow with whatever I decide to play. I literally don't know what I'm gonna play yet. We'll figure that out later. But until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see ya. Bye bye.